Time for Sports 56 Middays with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy. The first hour of Sports 56 Middays is brought to you by Action247.com. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
I got a piece of land out in the countryside. Lay back and smell the sun. Warm up the Georgia pie. Feels so good to be taking it easy. Why would I ever leave? 'Cause I know I got some good friends.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome in to Sports 56 Middays. We are live today, despite it being a winter wonderland outside. Happy Valentine's Day is a day late, but it is President's Day today. So the good thing is that it's a holiday. A lot of people are not going to work because of the pandemic, and a lot of other people are not going to work because of the snowstorm. So there's less people on the highways and byways of Memphis and the Mid-South with the snow and the sleet and the ice and all types of yucky stuff going on. Plus, it is frigid here in Memphis. We got a lot going on in the world of sports that we'll discuss over the next 3 hours. We call this little show Sports 56 Middays. We've been doing it for quite some time. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, and Gabe Kuhn. It's officially the Monday, February 15th, 2021 edition of the program. We're in the Family Leisure Studios, where family and fun come together. The Factory Direct Pool and Patio Sale going on right now at Family Leisure. Family Leisure, 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40. It's weird to talk pool and patio when it's freezing outside, but before too long, it'll be spring and summer here in Memphis, and we know how hot it will be in the summer, so nothing like a nice pool. When you stop by Family Leisure, make sure you ask for an official Sports 56 mask while supplies last, and wear your mask. Also, the first hour of the program brought to you by Action247.com. On the program today, we got a lot to get into. The Grizzlies winning last night and winning in pretty easy fashion against Sacramento. They're back home to play a couple of games tomorrow and Wednesday, hopefully, as they'll take on the Pelicans tomorrow and the Thunder on Wednesday. But we'll talk about their performance. 1-1 on their road trip, losing to the Lakers Friday, beating the Kings on Sunday. The latest on Memphis Tigers basketball. We'll have that information for you as the Tigers basketball team, the men's team, loses another game, as this Thursday's game at Wichita State has already been postponed. And the women's team lose their coach. We will discuss that on the program today. We had a very late night if you were up watching the Daytona 500, which ended after midnight Eastern time, about 11:25 here in the central region of the country. We will discuss that on the program today. Plenty of college basketball from the weekend to get into. Also, Gus Malzahn has landed a new job. We will talk about that on the program. And Craig Unger will join us at 11:25, the president of the Memphis Redbirds and Memphis 901 FC. Big announcement on Friday concerning minor league baseball and things of that nature. So we wanted to get Craig on to talk a little bit about that. Again, kind of weird with the timing of ice and snow and cold, but baseball is right around the corner. Eli Savoy, how are you today?
I'm good. Cold, just dealing with this nasty weather, but I'm surviving.
Did you and your lovely wife have a nice Valentine's Day yesterday?
Did.
Good.
Didn't do much.
Well, just to be
sitting around the house,
just to be with your loved one. My loved one is in Pennsylvania, and she flies back tonight. I got my fingers crossed that everything will be fine and she'll be able to fly in. It is going to be a challenge, I'm sure, for me to get to the airport tonight, because we're talking about temperatures dipping down to, what are they saying, like 12? Or even less?
Dipping down to 12. It's not even 12 right now, I don't think.
Oh, come on. It has to be.
It was 9 this morning.
It's 10 on my way in.
What is it right now? See if you can get an update.
It's probably like 10 degrees.
10 degrees.
Is it really? So what's it going to be tonight? It's going to be a sheet of ice as I'm trying to drive to the airport.
My phone says it's currently 10, feels like -6.
Low tonight and into the morning looks like 3 degrees.
Wow. And now it was frigid when I got in my car, but I didn't think it was that cold.
If it's getting to 12, that means it's warming up.
Well,
that's good.
Here's the thing, though. I have long johns on. I had my big, heavy winter jacket. I had gloves. I had a wool cap on the first time and probably the only time other than this week that I'll wear it. So I was prepared, nice and toasty in the car. Now, getting over here, not too bad. At least not too bad when I drove here at about 8 o'clock. Yes, it was still heavy sleet, and the wind's starting to swirl now, but the roads weren't ice like they're probably going to be later today. And like I said earlier, the fact that it's a holiday, people are off work, and then with COVID, a lot of people are working from home. There wasn't that many people on the streets. Now, I don't know what they're doing in the streets. I didn't see any trucks. I don't even know if the city of Memphis owns a salt truck. But it wasn't too bad driving here. I'm a little worried going home at 1 o'clock, and then tonight I'm really concerned. But just a tip for anybody out there that's driving. Make sure you have your lights on. There's a lot of people out there without their lights. And number 2, just drive slow. Just drive slow. No sudden turns or anything like that. I mean, everybody was fine. There wasn't that many people when I came over. The only person that literally cut me off was a cop who had no idea, probably I was there, which just drove me crazy. Wanted to, beep a little bit, but it was a cop, so I didn't. Anyway, other than that, it was pretty good. How about you? How about your drive? You had a longer drive.
The interstates were they did a good job, but I saw 3 different snowplows just be on I-40 alone.
Did you? That's nice.
They were out doing. They had it pretty cleared off. I mean, it is what it is. There's still going to be a sheet of snow or whatever, and it's going to get slick as the day goes on. But they were out, get it cleared off, and I had no problems on 40 or 240. All lanes were pretty clear, and yes, it helped that there were very few cars out. I'm not sure I saw many more cars than I did snowplows. As a matter of fact, there was really not a whole lot of people on the road this morning, so that did help it out, and I had no problems getting here. I figure the city streets, the side streets, are probably getting pretty bad because they don't have. We don't have enough trucks to try and clear all of the streets, so they're gonna keep the interstates as clear as possible, and the rest of it is kind of fend for yourself type stuff.
Can confirm side streets are pretty rough right now. That's how I got in. Still easy though for me. I've dealt with that type of stuff before, and there's not many people out at all. So
I drove side streets. I don't take the interstate to get here.
Yeah, luckily there's not a lot of people. Mm-hmm. If there was, you can't. Very low visibility on as far as the lines go on the road and everything else.
And I would imagine visibility as a whole right now probably not good because it's coming down pretty good,
and it's coming sideways.
It's going to be coming down for a while, like this. So it's if you don't have to go out, you're probably better off just staying at home and get a blanket, light a fire, tell Alexa to turn on Sports 56, and we're all good to go.
Although John Harden, who will be on the air from 1 to 3 with Sports 56 Happy Hour, this public service announcement. Neil's is open, baby. I thought I was going to starve. So we got that from John Harden. I'm not sure how many other restaurants are open, but at least Neil's is open. So good to know that John is getting some food in his stomach before he gets ready to come on over to the station from 1 to 3. Now, here's the thing. I know they're predicting 8-9 inches of snow. Does the sleet count? Like when they're accumulating stuff, is sleet? Because sleet's a whole different ballgame. That's basically ice. I mean, I want the white powdery stuff. Don't want to see 9 inches of snow, but if that's the case, I'd rather see the nice fluffy snow than the ice in the.
Well, I mean, it's an accumulation of frozen substance falling from the air. Sleet, snow combination. 8-9 inches. And again, I mean, the thing is, this isn't going anywhere. And we're going to get more. We're supposed to get more Wednesday and Thursday, and we're not supposed to get over freezing until I believe Saturday. So this is going to be around for a while.
And baseball's supposed to start at the end of this week. The Memphis Tigers, I don't know about Ole Miss. Ole Miss may have already started, but Friday, Saturday.
Ole Miss will be down in Texas.
Okay, so they're fine. But Memphis is supposed to play a home series to open the season Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
I don't like their chances. I'm just going to be honest. I don't like the chances. I'm going to go bold here. I'm going to say that's probably not going to happen. Certainly Friday's not going to happen. I'm going to guess Saturday won't happen, and I'm going to guess Sunday won't happen.
I wouldn't expect anything different. Since the pandemic hit, I've lost so many sporting events, live sporting events, and we all have that do play-by-play, but this is just crazy. They rescheduled 2 games for women's basketball for Memphis and Wichita State tonight and Wednesday night. Obviously, tonight already postponed. We'll see about Wednesday. Probably not going to happen. I keep missing out on these games. They're supposed to be on ESPN Plus, and I've been broadcasting those games this year. But boy, oh boy! And then the baseball, turnaround that may be on the shelf, as you said. It's just one of those things. If it's not COVID, it's a freak snowstorm in Memphis. It's just absolutely nuts. But like you said, just kick back, relax, stay warm. Make sure there's so many different ways to listen to us, whether it be just conventional radio on AM 560, FM 96.1, FM 98.5, or via the social media platforms. You can hear us on all of them, including YouTube, and you can hear us on Twitter and Facebook and Periscope. So there's all different ways to do that. And then, of course, on the web at sports56whbq.com. So no excuses not to listen.
Your app, your smart speakers, we're everywhere. We're absolutely everywhere that you can get us. So I was looking at some of the stuff, like some of the historic part of what we're doing with this weather. Mm-hmm. It's absolutely incredible. Like, this is supposed to be, if we get what they're saying, it's the most snow since 1985. And then there's the number of days we're supposed to go without getting above freezing is like the most since consecutive days is like the most since the 1940s.
Wow.
I mean, we're like,
how about that global warming?
We're talking like insane historic stuff that we are seeing weather. So, why not? Like, what? That's just the times we live in. If it's not one thing, it's another. And the snow's coming down pretty darn good right now.
Our buddy John, who is a loyal listener and viewer, watches us, I guess, on Facebook. John says, snow in Covington about 5 inches right now and counting. Cannot open my front door. Yikes.
Yeah, the one good thing is for the kids, you don't get many chances to go sledding in Memphis. So if you want to, I went out yesterday. My stepson, we were trying to do a little sledding. Wasn't quite enough snow yesterday to really have a good day. But today, next couple of days, if you want to get out and do some sledding, you can do some sledding.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say, and the one great thing about this for the kids is they get to stay home from school. Oh, that's right. That's right. They haven't been to school for the most part. Some go to school. Some do, but for the most part, it's like, oh yeah, you get to stay home. Okay, well, we do that any day, every day anyway.
My wife actually went looking to buy a sled the other day. Mm-hmm. Hard to come by. They're all sold out. Everybody rushed out and bought a sled for this epic snowstorm we're having, and they'll probably get to use it this year. And who knows when the next time they'll get to use it? But there was a mad rush on sleds here in the city of Memphis.
Not to mention bread and milk.
Yeah, that whole thing. I still don't quite understand it, but good on those people who cleaned out the grocery stores to be prepared for this. Hope you're enjoying your milk sandwiches. Have fun today, enjoying those.
And make sure you honor all the great presidents today, starting with my favorite, Marty Van Buren, at the top of my list. But be careful if you have to go outside and you're driving around. Also, the limbs of trees are getting so heavy with the ice that I live near Galloway Golf Course, and there was a lot of limbs down on that course that I could just see from right off the road. So be careful also with the overhanging trees and things of that nature. What you got to be careful with that kind of stuff because, again, the more precipitation it gets on it, the more it freezes over and gets heavy and just breaks off.
Yeah, that's and as the snow continues to pile and the ice is still on all of them from last week, it's going to continue to be a problem, and hopefully power lines and other things don't start breaking more and more as we get more stuff added to them. Got a couple of texts here. One says, just saw the weather newscaster said, if you have to get out, actually I would say don't get out. Somebody else says over 6 inches of snow and sleet in DeSoto County. Roads are terrible. Stay safe, turn on Sports 56, and go ahead and grab a beverage. Yes, I'm fully. One great thing about a snow day, if you are at home and like you're not working at all, not doing anything, great time for some day drinking. This is perfect day drinking weather.
It's snow o'clock somewhere.
That's why, to me, I'm fine with everybody buying the bread and milk. Just don't buy up all the beer and alcohol at the store. Leave that. I am well stocked in that department. So that's. But yes, I fully support that. That's if you're not, you're not leaving the house anyway. Go ahead and do a little day drinking.
I'm going to bet most, if not all, the liquor stores are open today. So you're good chance if that's what you want to partake in, you'll be able to find that. All right. So there's actually a lot going on in the sports world as today we get word that Gus Malzahn is returning to coach a Division I FBS program. It happens to be one that will play the Memphis Tigers on an annual basis. He's going to be the new coach at UCF. Now, remember, Terry Mohajir just became the new AD at UCF, the former Arkansas State athletics director who replaced Danny White, who went to Tennessee. Gus Malzahn coached a year at Arkansas State before going to Auburn. They did cross paths, but Mohajir did not hire Gus Malzahn at Arkansas State. But when you have a coach that is available, that through his year so far coaching Division I football has gone 77-38, and you can get him, you go out and you get him. Gus is just 55 years of age, and the Gus bus now headed to Orlando. How about that?
Yeah, he's a name that, kind of came up immediately because of the record that he did have, even though, you get fired from Auburn. I mean, still the record is pretty darn good. And so people kind of thought that he would be a possibility. And then when you add in Terry Mohajir going down there and the fact that, yes, while he didn't hire him at Arkansas State, he was there. He came in and basically was there for almost that entire season that Gus was the head coach at Arkansas State. So obviously very familiar with Gus, having worked with him. And they go out and looks like they got the deal done. So to me, it's a pretty darn good hire for UCF.
UCF scheduled to open the 2021 season at home versus Boise State on September 4th. There are some people now that believe UCF made out like bandits. They got the better coach. Tennessee got the worst of the two when they could have reached out for Gus Malzahn. Gabe?
I agree completely. The track record on Gus is written, and it's longer, and he has more experience than Heupel. And also, I think at a place like UCF, I think he'll do pretty well in recruiting in regards to being one of the best classes in the AAC. So I think it's a great get on all fronts for UCF.
And the type of offense he runs. Not that Heupel runs some slow-down offense, but Gus Malzahn is an offensive-minded guy. They went out and they got that to continue that tradition at UCF. And, yes, Tennessee could have done that. And Danny White instead, he felt comfortable with Heupel. They said they had the national search. The hire took place, and I think pretty much we were in agreement that it was, a solid hire, but nothing spectacular. Malzahn, remember, why is he out at Auburn? Because it's Auburn, for goodness sakes. It's Auburn. They are one of the programs that expect national championship every year. So UCF falls right into this situation. New AD, who I love, Mohajir. Not that I don't like Danny White. I like him. I think Tennessee has the right dude in place of Phil Fulmer as the AD. But Mohajir, I love. And now you get Gus Malzahn? Pretty darn good.
Yeah, I don't think Tennessee, I don't think it would have made sense for them to hire Gus Malzahn in the SEC after he just got fired in the SEC. But I think it's a good hire for UCF. I think Malzahn's good. What he's done has not been anything great. And his offense, for having that been his reputation. Now it's been in the SEC, but they haven't been that good offensively at Auburn.
77-38 overall is his record. Not just at Auburn, but Arkansas State as well. That's pretty impressive. It's more than 2-1 wins to losses. So I understand what you're saying. But right now, the timing of this, you're sitting here on February 15th. What's available out there for you at UCF to go beyond just filling a void? To go out and be able to get a name like Malzahn on February 15th? I don't know what it's going to cost them. I'm sure those details will come out here soon. But I think that's a win right there for Terry Mohajir. Not on the job for a week, and he's able to land the Gus bus in Orlando. I think that's pretty darn good. All right, when we come back, we'll get into the whole situation with Memphis basketball, both the men and the women. What is the latest in the Grizzlies' role in Sacramento? Again, we got the snow on the ground. It's falling right now in the Mid-South, all over the place, but I want to tell you about Lawn Solutions. It's a locally owned weed control fertilization company that serves the greater Memphis area. And what they do is they take care of your lawn all year long. So even during the winter months when the grass is dormant, they're taking care of your lawn. Call Brandon Holly today at 901-867-5626. Tell him you heard it here on Sports 56 Middays, 901-867-5626. or go online to lawnsolutionsinc.net. It's maybe something you're not looking at today, but I would guarantee you that by the time spring is sprung and you see all those weeds, you're going to want to kill those weeds, and they will do that for you at Lawn Solutions. But they take care of your lawn all year long. They control the germination of weeds by applying pre-emergence during the winter months and post-emergence during the summer months. They can take care of any disease your lawn has or any insect infestation. It's Lawn Solutions. Brandon Holly is just a great guy, and he has a team of professionals that will take care of your lawn. Give him a call at 901-867-5626 or go online to lawnsolutionsinc.net. This is Middays on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1 and 98.5.
Do you know who I am?
Who are you?
I'm Superfly TNT.
Johnny Radio.
Where do you want to be? 1 to 3? Right here with me. Sports 56, 98.5, 96.1 FM, Monday through Friday. This is Sports 56 Happy Hour. Your good buddy, Johnny Radio.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
2021 is finally here. Might I suggest we start the wonderful new year with a makeover for your beautiful house. I'm Brian Elder. I'm a roofer. I fix roofs. Don't let them tell you that it has to be replaced when all it may need is some love. 867-0303. Let me love on your roof. I've made quite the reputation over the last decade as the guy to call after the insurance company denies the claim. Overturning a claim that has gone bad is an art form where you argue county code, manufacturer specs, and details of your policy that they have to abide by. So let me see it first. If I say it's a claim, it's a claim. 867-0303. Money is free at Brian Elder Roofing with 0% financing for half a decade. I'll measure your roof from outer space and get you a quote right over the phone. 867-0303 or BrianElderRoofing.com.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
The President's Day sales event is going strong at Gossett Kia on Covington Pike. 2021 Kia Forte, $133 a month lease. That's less than $5 a day for a new ride. 2021 Kia Soul, completely redesigned exterior and interior, $149 a month lease. And 2021 Kia K5, just $182 a month lease. All 36 months with $3149 due at signing, and they all come with Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. So let's conquer the cold and gear up for winter in your new Kia from Gossett Kia, 1900 Covington Pike, or online at KiaCovingtonPike.com. Ask for Bobby J. He'll put you in a new Kia today.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 36-month leases, $3149 due at signing, 0 security deposit, 10,000 miles per year, 20 cents excess mileage, $650 acquisition fee. Forte, ME3 19038, MSRP $20,625, Soul M77 55638, MSRP $20,660, K5 MG 005560, MSRP $25,725. Includes all manufacturer rebates and incentives. PF 695 excludes tax title and license. With approved credit, see dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 3/1/21. Dealer stock only.
Progressive presents The Sounds of the Old World. The year is 2019, and someone is getting up to use the bathroom at the stadium.
Excuse me? Excuse me? Oh, sorry. Excuse me? You mind if I just squeeze by here?
This has been The Sounds of the Old World. Brought to you by Progressive, where drivers can still switch and save like it's 2019.
Quote today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Head on over to Frontier Western Store for their famous February sale. This is Frontier's biggest sale of the year, and it's time to save big on boots and apparel. All men's jeans are now on sale. Wrangler Carhartt pants, $5 off. Area denim is also $5 off. There are huge savings on Carhartt shirts as well. Select clearance shirts and outerwear up to 50% off. Area shirts and jackets discounted as well. Hurry in for the best selection. All novelty shirts, including Simply Southern, Girly Girl, and Puppy Love, are buy one, get one half price. Men's t-shirts by Live Oak and A-Boat, also included in this sale. Frontier has markdowns in the boot room as well. Hundreds of boots by Double H, Rocky, Durango, and Ariat, now priced to move to make room for new spring arrivals. Stop by Frontier today and grab your next pair of dress or work boots. It's the famous February sale at Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch, and on the web at frontierwesternstore.com. Family owned and operated since 1967.
I'm a big fan of Town Village, and there is always something to do year-round. Nestled in the heart of East Memphis, located corner of Park and Cherry, is a beautiful residential neighborhood. Looking for a great place to retire, but you still have a very active lifestyle? Then visit Town Village. Only requirements that you're 55 plus. Prices per month starting at $24.50. The gourmet chef welcomes you to visit our restaurant and bistro. Package includes 3 complimentary meals per day, maid service, free local transportation, monthly coffee club, theme dinner parties, lots of fun. Visit us and call Daniel or Bo at Town Village Audubon Park at 901-374-7342. There's no place like home. Town Village Audubon Park.
Now, back to Sports 56 Middays. This hour is brought to you by Action247.com. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Cause I'm a picker, I'm a grinner, I'm a lover, and I'm a sinner.
Welcome back, everybody. 10:27 is the time. Hey, listen, if you have something that you need to let everybody know about a road, a particular situation, driving, what it's like in your neck of the woods, you can always hit us up via the First Bank text line at 67129. We'll pass along that information.
So, yeah, got a couple of texts here I want to read on the First Bank text line at 67129. That's 67129. One says, I was thinking about the food items people buy. My mom said if you lose power, you don't want things you have to cook or heat up. So lunch meat or peanut butter and bread are good with no way to heat or cook things. And Raider Corey says, I finally understand and can now grasp the concept of why people buy milk, bread, and eggs during inclement weather. You can make quite a lot of stuff with those 3 items, thanks to my grandma for the wisdom. And yes, I mean, I understand something. The thing I always laugh about is people always talk about just buying the bread and milk. They never talk about, like, buying the meat to put on the bread. And I was like, why? Right. I don't want to just buy bread and milk. I want something. I am fully supportive of buying the stuff, whatever you want to do. But to me, I don't want to just eat bread and milk. I need some meat with it.
Of course, that's an old thing that started many, many years ago. And now, in this day and age, even during a snowstorm, I'm sure there's still the old DoorDash and other places that are delivering. It's so much easier now to get food because the whole thing is you're going to be snowed in and you have nothing in your refrigerator. What are you going to do to eat? How are you going to survive? But for goodness sakes, now, even in snow, they're delivering stuff. So there's ways to survive other than having to load up.
And I fully support the buying. Now, I mean, I might know not everybody has a grill, but if you've got a grill, then you just buy stuff to cook on the grill, and then you don't have to worry about whether you got power or not because that grill will fire up.
Everybody can't have a big green egg, Eli, like you.
I understand that. A lot of people have some sort of grill.
They do.
So that you can still buy some steaks or hamburger, whatever. You got that grill to cook stuff on.
Hey, I went to the store.
You can toast your bread and milk on there if you really want to, I suppose.
I went to the store on Friday or Saturday, but basically, again, my wife's out of town, and I don't cook much, so I got a few essentials. But I also picked up the food for the cats. That's the important thing. I want to make sure that I have food for the animals. All right, congratulations to our good friend Zoe Goodson, the head coach of the Rhodes men's basketball team, got his first win over the weekend. Zoe's a guest of the show, has been a guest of the show and a friend of the show, so certainly wanted to give him a shout-out on his first W. The Memphis Tigers men's basketball team is in shutdown, and not just because of a snowstorm. It's happened last week. It started last week. Their game against Cincinnati on Thursday was postponed. Their game Sunday, scheduled for Houston, postponed. And now we got word over the weekend that their game scheduled for this Thursday against Wichita State already postponed. Now, what I've heard was we're talking about 6, 7, 8 people that tested positive. Now, remember, Memphis was hit earlier in the year with the COVID, and it may have been before they tipped off the regular season or may have already started. I'm trying to remember. And there were others who were affected then with positive tests. So they've been hit a couple of times. But this one's been pretty darn bad. And they call them, tier 1 or level 1, whatever it is, tier 1, I think, personnel. So it's not just players, but coaches. And I don't know all the specifics of who, but I know you're talking about 6, 7, 8 people. And that's why it's been shut down as long as it is, because it's happened around the country at different places. And when this happens, it's usually a 2-week shutdown. So now you're getting really, really into a dire situation where other than this week, there's 2 weeks to go in the regular season. And this week you're already shut down through Thursday. I don't know what's going to happen next weekend or this weekend coming up. Who's Memphis have scheduled this weekend?
Temple.
On Saturday?
I believe that is a Sunday game, but I'm not.
You are correct.
Yeah, I thought
It's
it was
a Sunday game. Okay, so right now that one's on. But that's even in jeopardy here as we talk on this Monday. But Cincinnati, Houston, Wichita State, pivotal games for Memphis off the board. And how did they get this? Well, it's a rumor that's swirling out there that, and this is not from the university, that their game with East Carolina is how they contracted it. Because East Carolina then subsequently shut down operations. So that's the thought. And that's unfortunate, but that's where we stand right now with Memphis men's basketball.
Again, I mean, there was, you could look at it and go, well, Memphis and SMU each played East Carolina last week. All three of those programs ended up being shut down. But as in all of this, when people try, you have no idea where it came from.
Right. Nobody knows for sure, but that's kind of the rumor that's swirling around. That,
I mean, people are going to put that together. Go, well, look, East Carolina played these two teams.
Right.
They both had to shut down, and East Carolina shut down. Well, for all you know, Memphis gave it to East Carolina originally. People don't know. That's why I don't understand like some of the stuff people try to. Like, you have no idea where it originated.
No, but again, they're looking at it and saying, well, they played them, and then they had to shut down, and two other programs had to shut down as well because of that. So they're just putting two and two together, and they're coming up with East Carolina. Like you said, doesn't mean that's the case.
With
and
COVID, really, it's never 2 and 2.
And no, it's true. And it's really, that's not the important thing. There's no finger pointing going on here. The bottom line is that they got hit, and Memphis is dealing with that right now. And what it will do for scheduling is beyond me. I don't see how you make up games. But, as I've said before, they have some teams that are on the schedule, in my opinion, where those games are not as important. And I would do everything I can if I'm Mike Oresco to put the second Houston game, which would have been the first Houston game, back on the schedule, to get that game with Wichita State rescheduled, even if it means missing the Memphis-Tulane game or the Memphis-USF game. Because as a commissioner, you're also trying to get as many teams as you can in the tournament, in the big dance. And right now, all you have is Houston. Unless another team other than Houston wins the conference tournament and gets the AQ, you're looking at one. Nobody's getting in as an at-large, but Memphis could make at least a run at an at-large if they can get these games rescheduled and play the games and win. So if it's at the expense of a game against Tulane or USF, then so be it. But as a commissioner, I think you have to look into doing that.
I don't understand. I really don't get why they didn't put Houston and Wichita State playing yesterday.
Right.
I don't. They were both scheduled to play yesterday. Both had their games postponed back on Thursday. So I don't know why you wouldn't have had them go ahead and play to create an open date for both of them in the schedule later on, because they still have a game scheduled against each other. So let them get that out of the way. I mean, to me, if you got two teams that can play, don't have them sitting around not playing. Like, right. Put them together, let them play, and then that clears up, maybe helps you do some things later. Like for the, that's I applaud the SEC for what they're doing. I mean, they're just like this week.
Plug and play.
Ole Miss and LSU were supposed to play this Wednesday. Well, they ended up playing that game earlier in the year because both teams had a game postponed on the same weekend, or I think that wasn't even during the weekend. That was during the week. So they said, all right, well, just play your game. Well, it gets to this point, and now they can't reshuffle everything. So they say, fine, you guys are just going to play again. Like, that's fine. Just you guys will play again. We're just trying to get everybody to 18 games, and so they're going to play two games against each other, both at Ole Miss. But so what? Like, and those are two teams right now. Ole Miss needing wins against quality opponents more than LSU, but LSU's a team that's probably in the tournament but could use the resume help. Ole Miss is looking for resume help, so why not? Yeah, just go play again against each other, and we need to get as many games in as we possibly can.
Exactly. In this situation, all's fair in love and war. I mean, anybody who complains it's just worthless garbage to say, oh, look, we got to play 2 on the road now instead of 1 at home and 1 on the road. Forget about it. The way it's going right now, just get these games played. So, yes, Sankey's very quick, and the decision makers, the power brokers at the SEC to make these decisions, and the American a little bit slower. Because with each passing day that you don't play one of those games, reschedule a game, change the opponents, is one less day that you have to be able to do that. And again, we're talking about after this week. So 2 weeks and this full week, but Memphis already is on the shelf for Thursday. So this week is pretty much a wash. They may play, they may not play against Temple on Sunday at FedEx Forum. But then the 2 weeks after that, that's where they're going to have to jam all these games in. There's no way you can get all these games in. So that is a major problem right now for Memphis. And it's unfortunate that they were playing their best basketball of the season at the time that this hit. In the meantime, the women's basketball team, which we don't talk a lot about, but they were going to play the 2 makeup games against Wichita State, as I mentioned earlier, tonight and Wednesday night. They may still play Wichita State on Wednesday, but this game tonight is postponed. And then all of a sudden, after I found that out yesterday afternoon, getting ready to start preparing for the game, the news comes down about Melissa McFerrin. And the formal announcement via an email was that Melissa McFerrin retired, suddenly retired in her 13th season at the University of Memphis. Now, personally, I like Melissa an awful lot. I do. But it has been a struggle. Let's be honest. It's been a struggle. So her contract was up at the end of this season. And I don't know this for a fact, but it seems like either something happened personally to her, and that's what the way they're talking about something personally, that you had to abruptly step down mid-season. Or there's some frustration that maybe her contract will not be renewed and not moving forward. I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt, but the timing is bad because you have players there that are depending on you, and now they will have Michelle Savage, an interim head coach for the rest of the season. Laird Veach has said that he will make a national search at the end of the year for a replacement for Melissa. But the timing of that and just the verbiage and everything is really weird.
Yeah, obviously, I mean, a retirement, to word it as a retirement in the middle of a season is very strange. But yeah, and this is, I'm not going to act like it's a big, it's women's basketball at the University of Memphis. It's. I mean, I don't pay much attention to it. I know you do some of the games, but it's not a thing. But it's always amazed me that she has kept that job as long as she has with her record, and especially when they had the whole allegations and investigation into things like that, seemed like a real easy stepping off point that they still did not do. Mm-hmm. I mean that they, and now. You could always go with the idea before that, listen, it's not like you're ever going to win a conference title. It is what it is. You're playing with Connecticut in your conference.
No,
you're never going to win it. Now that is over.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, right.
Now they're gone. Now, there are real things you can achieve with women's basketball at the University of Memphis. So you need to start taking that maybe a little more seriously and say, listen, we got to, in this next hire, you hope you can get a coach that actually can win. Because to me, there's no reason why women's basketball at the University of Memphis can't be at least pretty good. I mean, they've been terrible pretty much since I've been in Memphis. I don't remember. I guess there was a few years there with Jolie McNellis.
Yes,
but since she's been gone, they have been terrible. And it's just weird for me again. And I don't pay much attention at all. But the fact that she kept that job as long as she did.
Well, your point is well taken. Now that UConn is out, it gives everybody an opportunity, not just Memphis in that conference. And when you think about it, with all the talent that's here with the boys, there's also that talent for the girls. There's that many terrific female basketball players in Memphis and the Mid-South. So Memphis needs to be able to recruit. And they've done a pretty good job here recently getting some of the better players in the area. It just hasn't worked out. There's some bad luck with injuries. There's a lot of things that come into it. But with Laird Veach, he wasn't going to make any changes right away. He was still getting his feet wet on the job. He was going to do evaluation. But again, if you just put two and two together, I know, you, like you said, you can't do it during COVID, especially with COVID-related things. This is not COVID-related. You put two and two together, and it looks like maybe they had a come-to-Jesus meeting, and she was not going to be renewed. But again, whether or not it's just a sudden, I'm upset about it and I'm going to retire, or something actually personally in her life is affecting this judgment. So, again, I like Melissa, and I wish her well. But Memphis, you're probably right, needed to go in a different direction. I feel for the women, for the players right now, because, again, they have to they have to deal with a interim coach, even though they're very familiar with Michelle, but their coach says sayonara with games still to be played. So it's a tough situation for any player that loses their coach mid-season, towards the end of the season, whatever you want to say, but while the season is going on.
Text here on the First Bank text line at 67129 says, I bet the Big Ten would cheat to find ways to get teams in the NCAA tournament. It's about the money. Wake up, AAC commissioner. It's not even about cheating. It's simply about just taking advantage of opportunities to get as many games in as you possibly can. There's don't need to cheat. Just, hey, we don't. You two teams, you're both able to play this weekend. Play each other. Just get a game in against each other.
It's all about flexibility. You're absolutely right. There's no cheating going on. And again, for any program that would be upset by this, I mean, go to your room, have a timeout, because you have to understand that everything and anything is possible in sports today. And so there's going to be reshuffling. They have to get the games in, but in the Americans' case, and I think this is maybe what the texter's alluding to, is do what you can to try to get an extra team in. Because right now, this is a bad year for the American in men's basketball. You're talking about Houston. That's it. You have to find a way to maybe give at least another team, in this case, of course, Memphis, a chance to maybe find their way into the conversation.
This is, if this isn't the most 2020-21 tweet ever, North Carolina basketball, one of the Blue Bloods, 45 minutes ago tweeted from their official North Carolina basketball Twitter account, we're looking for a home game this week. Please contact us if interested.
Wow.
Maybe Our Lady of the Lakes will take them up on that. I don't know. That's North Carolina. North Carolina's just out there tweeting. They're doing matchmaking business on Twitter. We need a game tomorrow. Anybody want to play us?
Could you imagine that if you were Memphis, you were healthy, and you didn't have a game Thursday against Wichita State? I'd jump on that thing as quick as quick. I would be on that. But that is 2020/2021 in the world of sports.
Well, if I'm Wichita State, I'm trying to get that game.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be contacting them immediately. In fact, you're Wichita State. You're trying to get wins to get yourself into the tournament right now.
Yeah.
Now, if North Carolina wants to play, go play North Carolina. What the hell?
Now, the added problem this week is the weather. The snowstorm that's in a lot of different parts of the country. That's also a problem, which will restrict travel, which is unfortunate. Town Village Audubon Park, senior living in today's world, located at 950 Cherry Road, just off Park Avenue, offering more options to fit your needs more than ever before, dedicated to the long-term satisfaction and the quality of life for their residents. All they ask is that you're 55 or over, something that you may be thinking about for your future when you retire, or maybe one of the loved ones in your life. Think Town Village Audubon Park. You can call them, ask them any question you have at 901-537-0002. I'm sure they'll be happy to answer all those questions for you. Or just go online to find out more about them at townvillageaudubonpark.com. Independent living, short-term respite stay available. They have monthly options, great event schedule, activities galore, amazing food, transportation, all kinds of great stuff that they have for the seniors. And they're a cherished part of our world. And make sure you take care of your elders. And if you can, like I said, and you're looking for a place when you retire, your golden years, to live it out and live it out in style, it's Town Village Audubon Park. We've done remotes there. We love being there. The residents love being there. 950 Cherry Road, just off Park Avenue. Give them a call at 901-537-0002. or online at townvillageaudubonpark.com. College basketball over the weekend. There were a bunch of important games played. We'll talk about the SEC and the national picture when we return. This is Sports 56 Middays.
We are real sports talk. Sports 56 WHBQ. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM, 98.5 FM, and 96.1 FM. As well as online around the world at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere on your phone or tablet by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, tell Google or Alexa to play Sports 56. Wherever you are, stay tuned to real sports talk. Sports 56, 98.5, and 96.1.
The folks at Homer Skelton Hyundai want to say thank you. Thank you, Memphis, for another spectacular year. They set records, but I can understand why. You think about the product. Where else do you get a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty? That's what you get on every new car at Homer Skelton Hyundai. Oh, and thank you again for the 11th straight year, the #1 certified pre-owned car dealership in all of Memphis. It starts with that product, but then it goes to the shopper assurance. Where else do you go where you get transparent pricing, flexible test drive, take the car for a couple of days if you want, streamlined buying process? You're not going to be there all day, in and out. And then, and I have not seen this anywhere else, the 3-day worry-free exchange. You buy a new car, if you've got any buyer's remorse, you've got 3 days to change your mind. Just get on Lamar, take it into Mississippi, the first exit's Craft Road, turn left, and go see Chris True and all the gang at Homer Skelton Hyundai.
Action247.com is your Tennessee sportsbook for same-day pay. Action247.com. Local, legal. A sportsbook by Tennesseans, for Tennesseans. Win a little or win a lot. Action247 has same-day pay. The other guys make you wait for your winnings. No more waiting with Action247 same-day pay. Visit us online at Action247.com. Local, legal. Action247. You got action.
Problem gambling? Call 1-800-889-9789.
I want to do some bragging rights. Hey, I was just the other day overhearing a conversation with Big Mike, the manager of DeSoto Auto Sales. They've got people buying cars all over the country. North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, Arkansas, Texas. People from all over the country buy cars at DeSoto Auto Sales in Olive Branch, Mississippi. Why? DeSoto Auto Sales has the most stringent car inspection in America. They get it right the first time. Quality and low mileage, factory warranty on most vehicles. My favorite part is the people who work there. Big Mike, all the employees are professional, friendly, and go that extra mile. Expect as you walk in the door, you're treated like family. DeSoto Auto Sales understands your time matters. We can help you find your dream car and get all the paperwork finished in less than an hour. Come see us at DeSoto Auto Sales and be part of our family. Have a great buying experience every time. 662-890-7184.
Do you know one of the best things you can do for your employees or family's health? Provide Arctic Clear bottled water. Arctic Clear bottled water is your locally owned and operated bottled water provider. Arctic Clear is 100% natural spring water with free delivery and setup, dependable service, and no long-term contracts. What an easy choice. Call Jeff Manus today, 901-382-2363, or visit arctic-clear.com. Arctic Clear bottled water. Call now, 382-2363. That's 382-2363.
Now, back to Sports 56 Middays. This hour is brought to you by Action247.com. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Happy President's Day.
It is
happy,
a downright winter
I'm
wonderland.
just going to say that happy winter wonderland, belated happy Valentine's Day, all that stuff.
And these are massive snowflakes coming down right now. Like
All right, you're scaring me
and
now.
it is
Come
coming
on.
down hard. Like this is, like me and Gabe were talking. Like this like makes me think I'm back at home. Like this is, I don't. You
The
don't see
Chicago snow?
You don't see this in Memphis. Like this is, I mean, this is coming down.
It's the lakefront effect.
It's crazy.
It's our beautiful lake over here. That's what it's Sardis, man. It's all because of Sardis. Yeah, this is something we're just not used to. I mean, I'm worried that we're going to be shut down for weeks. Now, not us. We're on the air, man. We're bringing you live and local and having a good old time here in the Family Leisure Studios, but you be careful out there. But, yeah, when we get this kind of snow, you have to worry about the wires and the trees and all that stuff going down, and obviously the drivers in Memphis, not so good normally, let alone snow and ice. But if you don't have to go out, I know it's redundant, but just stay at home. All right, so college basketball over the weekend. Again, the Tigers not playing, unfortunately, and their game against Houston, and their game this Thursday already off for Wichita State. In the SEC over the weekend, Tennessee went down to the Bayou and lost 78-65. I'm starting to sour on Tennessee. I know they have a lot of talent, but I'm starting to sour on these guys. Like as a legitimate Final Four team, Elite Eight team, I just don't know.
It's certainly been disappointing in SEC play. They struggle offensively, like many other teams we see, but they have games where they just offensively can't do enough. And
did you watch that game?
I watched a good portion of it.
Fulkerson was horrible.
I mean, LSU is horrendous defensively. Like, LSU gives up points in bunches. That's why LSU's record it really isn't as good as it should be, because they can score because they've got unbelievable scores on that team, but they cannot. They usually just give up a bunch of points. And Tennessee got 65 points against them. I mean, there is certainly a lot of talent there with Tennessee, but I don't know. It's one of those that I could see it going either way. Like, I think they're a team that you could see them make a nice run because they kind of put it together. Mm-hmm. But I wouldn't, they're also a team that may very well get upset early on in the tournament because they have a game where they just don't score and, lose a 62-58 type game and they're out of it. I mean, they're 7-5 now in the conference. They're in 5th place.
You can't have players just disappear. And Fulkerson, who's one of their leaders, disappeared in that game. Yves Pons has to be a factor, and he's not a factor there. Springer was good, and I like Springer a lot. I like Johnson a lot. So when they put it together with all those guys, they're tough to beat. But my gosh, when a couple of those guys don't show up, and they did not show up, they're going to lose basketball games. Vanderbilt, it's been a rough year with the COVID and everything for Jerry Stackhouse. And
it's been a rough 2 years. It's been a rough 3 years for Vanderbilt.
Yeah, and they went down to the hump. They won 72-51.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming.
Nor did I.
Certainly not a 20-point victory for Vanderbilt. I don't know. Mississippi State hasn't been great, but they've been okay, and I don't know how in the world that happens to them.
Alabama put up 115 in beating Georgia 115-82.
Offensively, when they get it going, man, it is they are something. It is a show that they could put on because they've got so many guys who shoot it 18 of 30 from 3-point range.
Wow.
I mean, it's unbelievable. Like they get these games where you cannot stop them. They just hit everything they look at. It seems like everybody in the starting lineup knocks down threes. It's just they were 25 of 30 at the free throw line as well. I mean, they're offensively, when they get it going, they are as good as anybody offensively in the country.
Another team in the SEC I'm having a tough time trusting is Missouri. They lost to Arkansas. I know it was close. It was overtime. But they lost at home to Arkansas, 86-81. They got blitzed by Ole Miss the other day in Oxford. I just don't know about them, even though they've had a good season to this point.
Yeah, they're one. They weren't supposed to be that good, but they've played really well. But yeah, they certainly are very beatable too. Like they're now what are they 6-5 in the conference? Yeah, they're 6-5 in the conference. They were ranked number 10 in the country, and they're 6-5 in the SEC now.
Yeah, a lot of people may look at it as cannibalism. They're just beating up on each other. That don't look at that any differently. Don't look at that team any differently from what they did earlier in the non-conference portion of their schedule. But how can you not? I mean, you have to look at it and whether or not you can finish close games down the stretch. Kentucky beat Auburn 82-80. Ole Miss beat South Carolina on the road. Boy, that game was ugly early. I'm surprised it ended up with 81-74, 155 points. But Ole Miss did get a road win. And again, the Rebels are putting themselves in position. They have another game in Columbia against Missouri, Missouri against the Tigers. So Ole Miss is, again, they're in a position to make a run at an at-large. Texas A&M and Florida, they were postponed.
Yeah, the game this Wednesday that they've added now for Ole Miss against LSU. LSU handled them very easily the first time. Ole Miss had no answer for those, for mainly Trendon Watford. But this is a chance for Ole Miss because they don't have a whole lot. They've got that game against Missouri, and that's about it. They really need this game against LSU on Wednesday. And again, if they just don't lose to Georgia twice, Ole Miss would be in second place in the SEC if they had those 2 wins against Georgia.
Nationally, Gonzaga played again, and they routed San Francisco 100-61. They just seem to be unstoppable right now. Virginia, also a team that's playing a lot better basketball now. They put up 60 for Tony Bennett's team. They beat North Carolina 60-48. I was surprised at this result from the Big East. Creighton over Nova, 86-70. So I'm not sure if I'm a believer in Villanova.
They've had such a weird year with all the COVID stopping and everything else that they've had to do. I'm not sure how good that team is.
Iowa beat Michigan State 88-58. You got to think it's over for Michigan State. I believe many thought it was before that result, but you lose by 30 at home to Iowa. It's just a bad year for Michigan State, and I don't think you can recover. There's not enough time. Oregon edged Arizona, big game in the Pac-12, 63-61, and a great game in the Big 12 between Oklahoma and West Virginia. Went double overtime, and the Sooners do it again. They just feast on top 10, top 15 teams. Lon Kruger knows how to win those games down the stretch. Not that Bob Huggins doesn't, but Lon Kruger and his Oklahoma Sooners have had a great run over the last month of the season.
It's funny because if you look at just from what they did with the top 4 seeds, the top 16 seeds that they announced on Saturday, just this weekend after those were announced, I wonder if you had them redo that today, how many changes there would be. Because they had Villanova as a 2 seed, Tennessee as a 3 seed, Missouri as a 4 seed. I mean, I wonder just out of those how many changes there would be just off of one weekend from you just announced it on Saturday, and it might look a lot different on Monday.
Yeah, it's a good question to ask Jerry Palm. You may want to check out Jerry Palm's bracketology. He does a new one every Monday and Friday, so he has one up now at CBSSports.com. He'll join us on Wednesday. Ohio State's looked really good. They beat Indiana 78-59. Michigan back from COVID over Wisconsin 67-59. They were down early. That's a team to watch out for in the tournament. Juwan Howard's got Michigan playing really well. And Connecticut, they had lost some games as well. Xavier had 2 losses on the season, but they had been out recently. And Connecticut gets a big win in Cincinnati against Xavier, 80-72. When we return, hour 2 of the program, we'll kick things off with a crazy day at Daytona. This is Middays on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1 and 98.5.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
2021 is finally here. Might I suggest we start the wonderful new year with a makeover for your beautiful house. I'm Brian Elder. I'm a roofer. I fix roofs. Don't let them tell you that it has to be replaced when all it may need is some love. 867-0303. Let me love on your roof. I've made quite the reputation over the last decade as the guy to call after the insurance company denies the claim. Overturning a claim that has gone bad is an art form where you argue county code, manufacturer specs, and details of your policy that they have to abide by. So let me see it first. If I say it's a claim, it's a claim. 867-0303. Money is free at Brian Elder Roofing with 0% financing for half a decade. I'll measure your roof from outer space and get you a quote right over the phone. 867-0303 or BrianElderRoofing.com.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
I hate Tom's Tulip Shop. It just smells so flowery. Like we get it, you're a flower shop. You don't need to remind us.
No matter how hard you work for your small business, online reviewers will find something to complain about.
I needed a fake plant. They don't sell fake plants. Thanks for nothing, Tom.
And while Progressive can't save you from these trolls, we can help you save money on commercial, auto, and business insurance.
Then he says, have a great day. I'll decide what kind of day to have.
Get a quote online today at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliated and third-party insurers.
This is a job alert. If you're looking for work, this will interest you. Whether you're looking for full-time, part-time, or even something temporary if you've been recently furloughed, text 107-JOB to 49330. That's 107-JOB to 49330. Office work available now in a clean office environment with all COVID precautions taken. Text 107-JOB to 49330 and someone will be in touch about these job opportunities available now. Text 107-JOB to 49330.
That's the sound of NyQuil Severe hard at work. NyQuil Severe is the best sleep with a cold medicine. No tossing and turning, just rest and recovery. So you're ready to take on tomorrow. For powerful relief of your worst cold and flu symptoms, try NyQuil Severe. The nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, stuffy head, best sleep with a cold medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
It may be cold outside, but your deals keep getting hotter and hotter, Jeff. Hey, let's conquer the cold and gear up for winter with the Gossett Kia South Mount Moriah President's Day sales event.
We got you covered, Randy. Let's talk. 2021 Kia Forte, $133 a month lease. 2021 Kia Soul, redesigned inside and out, $149 a month lease. And a 2021 Kia K5, $182 a month lease. All just 36 months, $31.49 due at signing.
That's what I'm talking about, Jeff. Plus, every Gossett Kia on Mount Moriah comes with Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia on Mount Moriah, 2680 Mount Moriah, or KiaMountMoriah.com.
All 36-month leases, $31.49 due at signing, 0 security deposit, 10,000 miles per year, 20 cents excess mileage, $650 acquisition fee, Forte, ME3 19,038, MSRP 20,625, Soul, M7755,638, MSRP 20,660, K5 MG 005560, MSRP 25,725, include all manufacturer rebates and incentives, PF 695, excludes tax filing license, with approved credit, see dealer for complete details, offer valid through 3/1/21, dealer stock only.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis, W253DF Memphis, and WIVG Tunica Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Now, back to Sports 56 Middays. This hour of Sports 56 Middays is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers at 4900 Poplar. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everybody. 11:03 the time. Hour number 2 here on Sports 56 Middays, the Monday, February 15th, 2021 edition, the President's Day edition, the Winter Storm Armageddon edition. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, Gabe Kuhn. We're in the Family Leisure Studios where family and fun come together. Family Leisure, 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40. Hour 2 of the program is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers, and every Monday and Friday they bring you the Memphis Sports Fact. Did you know Tigers men's basketball team has played only 18 games to date? The last time the Tigers played under 30 games in a season was back in the 1998-99 campaign when the team played 28 games, going 13-15. They've had 2 seasons where they played 30 games since 98-99, but under 30, you got to go back to 98-99 for 28 games, going 13-15. And again, right now they are at only 18 games. James Gaddis Jewelers, 4900 Poplar, between Mendenhall and St. Elmo, on the web at gaddisjewelers.com. Give them a call at 901-767-9648. Today's probably the day you want to just browse the website, take a look at all their fine jewelry. They are your bridal engagement and anniversary jeweler headquarters. Rings and bracelets and necklaces and watches, all types of great stuff. They will buy your gold and silver. Gold right now is on fire. They can customize jewelry, make it to your specifications. If you like, they can provide a free 3D rendering of what it will look like in just 2 days. They always have new jewelry arriving, and James is a master jeweler, certified appraiser, diamondologist, and graded by the Gemologist Institute of America. So you're getting quality and you're getting experts. James Gaddis Jewelers, 4900 Poplar, between Mendenhall and St. Elmo, on the web at gaddisjewelers.com. According to Pete Thamel, BC has made a move. They have parted ways with basketball coach Jim Christian. Ends his 7-year career at BC, 78-132, 26-94 in the ACC and no NCAA tournaments. It's amazing when you see a coach, Eli, last that long in Division I in a power conference with Boston College being an ACC team, but it just shows you the difference between, I guess, the expectations at BC and the expectations at, let's say, Duke or North Carolina.
Yeah, I mean that's, but no, and any more, really at any certainly Power 5 conference school, because they all have the money, they're all cashing big checks. If you're not successful, it's hard to keep a job very long. So, yeah, I mean it's just regardless of what sport it is and how much they care about that sport at your particular school, if you don't win, they're usually going to get rid of you anymore, because it's just like, who cares?
Jeff
Goodman, $2 million, that's no big deal for us.
Right. Jeff Goodman tweets, the timing makes no sense, but then again, Kraft, he's talking about AD Patrick Kraft, did try and make Christian play with 4 scholarship players a few weeks back, so he was probably on the outs anyway. All right, before we get to the NASCAR and the Daytona 500, the Grizzlies were in action last night out on the West Coast, played a late game against the Sacramento Kings, and after losing Friday to the Lakers, they routed the Kings 124-110. Now, let me start with Friday. The game against the Lakers, they lost 115-105. They had a 22-2 lead in that game, but you just figured LeBron and company, they were going to come back, and Anthony Davis went for 35. Now, since then, Davis has re-injured himself, so he's out again, but LeBron James was terrific. Also in that game, Jonas Valanciunas went for 22, 8, and 5. Ja Morant, 22 and 10. Grayson Allen, 23. But once the Lakers turned it on, it was going to be them winning that basketball game. Now, within the game, Eli, as you probably know, LeBron James and Kyle Kuzma doing their flopping, especially LeBron James, and then a couple of days later, they were cited by the NBA for flopping, which does the Grizzlies a whole lot of good.
And I know there were a lot of complaints from Grizzlies folks about the foul calls and things in that game, and yes, there were they were not the best calls, but that's not the reason the Lakers won that game. I mean, there's just the Lakers are better, and once they kind of got it going, and LeBron, once he gets it going, they're just really, really good. And the Grizzlies really weren't going to be able to do much to try and to be able to stop them, because LeBron and Anthony Davis both had it going, and if they're doing that they're just tough to beat.
But selling a foul is one thing. Flopping the way LeBron has flopped throughout his career, I don't understand it. He doesn't have to do that.
Well, nobody has to, but you sell calls.
Sell a call. Don't take a soccer flop.
As a person who may or may not have flopped at times to try and sell calls in my basketball playing days, I can't hate it too much.
You were one of those guys? Really? Were you flopping?
If I drew a charge, I'll tell you what, you're going to know whether the guy touched me or not, you're going to know that it looked like I was going to make it look like he just put a shoulder into me and knocked me 20 feet backwards.
Now, one thing, if it's Gabe that you're taking the charge from,
don't matter who it is, you got to sell a charge. The only way you draw a charge is you got to sell it.
Gosh, Eli, one of those guys. Well, again, stiff mandate from the NBA. I mean, really coming down hard on LeBron and Kuzma with the warning.
That's their system. You get I don't remember how exactly it works before you start getting, if it's one warning and then you get fined the next time, I don't know what it is. But that's their system. What are they supposed to do? What do you want them to execute?
It should never come down to that. The system should be the damn NBA officials themselves use their judgment, use their intelligence. Some don't have any intelligence, and look and see that he's flopping in the game. But he's LeBron James, for goodness sakes. He's the king. We can't call a flop on LeBron James. He might get mad at me. NBA officials continue to be the worst. They're the absolute worst. There's no argument. And I love it when I hear like a Grizzlies proponent and just, you're wrong about NBA officials. College officials are way worse. And then you see them go ballistic when it's a bad call against their team, just following it on Twitter. I mean, again, the NBA officials are bad. They're just bad.
We may want to do some. Maybe we need to get. Maybe Fauci can look into this. we may need to look into the effects of COVID-19 on three-point shooting. Grayson Allen, since his return, is now 18 of 36 from three-point range. And Jonas, since his return, is 4 of 6 from three-point range.
Wow.
They are combined 22 of 42. Over 50% between the two of them since their return.
Well, maybe John needs to catch a little COVID.
I'm just saying. We'll see what the Tigers do when they come back. They were already shooting the three well. We might see a whole new – Tigers might be a 50% three-point shooting team after this.
Maybe it's more of having some time off. And maybe it's smart to give Ja a game off. I know he was out and he missed some games, but they have a very busy schedule coming up. The Pelicans tomorrow night at home, the Thunder at home on Wednesday, so back-to-back games. And then I don't have the schedule in front of me, but I know they have a game this weekend. They get really busy here before the first half of the season ends.
Well, they've got a double dip with the Clippers coming up. Where's my schedule? I got the schedule somewhere here.
And I know they got the break, and I know Ja's young, and he missed those games, and he's not going to want to be out. But my gosh, maybe you need to give the guy a rest one night because he's still struggling with that shot, and they're leaving him open. If John Morant can get that three going, and it wasn't like he was this amazing three-point shooter at Murray State, if he can get it going, though, some semblance of where teams have to respect it, then Katie bar the door because he's already getting to the hole at an alarming pace for opponents, paying the price sometimes with the physicality, but it really makes it a little bit easier for him if he's knocking down the three and opening the spacing more.
Well, yeah, it's just making people honor it. But they got the Pelicans and Thunder back-to-back, then Detroit and Phoenix back-to-back.
What days are they?
That's Friday, Saturday.
See, I would rest him Friday's Detroit, Wednesday's the Thunder. I might rest him Friday.
And then they've got the Clippers are the following week, that back-to-back with the Clippers here in town on Thursday, Friday of the following week. After the Detroit-Phoenix back-to-back, they just got Monday, Dallas, and then the two at Dallas, and then the back-to-back with the Clippers at home.
Well, last night, blowing out Sacramento, then the long flight home, and I'm not sure if they left last night after the game or flying today. I'm not sure what their schedule is.
I don't know. Normally they would have flown back today. I don't know if maybe they flew back last night to try and get here before the worst of the weather. I don't know. I'm not sure what they did.
But again, that's a long trip, and these trips are always long. You got to turn around again, play Wednesday and Thursday. But they looked terrific yesterday, and they have struggled in Sacramento for whatever the reason is. No Marvin Bagley, but there's still some pretty good talent with that Kings team, and the Kings have been playing well under Luke Walton this year. But the Grizzlies, this was a no-doubter. They went in there, took a lead early, and they never relinquished it, so they're even now at 11-11 on the season. And how about this? The Grizzlies are 7-4 on the road. They're only 4-7 at home, but they're 7-4 on the road. And last night they got contributions from a lot of guys. 7 players in double-figure scoring. Jonas Valanciunas leading the way at 25 and 12. Dylan Brooks was good. He had 22. Ja went for 16 and 10 assists for a double-double. Brandon Clark returned to the lineup. Again, coming off the bench, he is such an integral part of this team. 13 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. Xavier Tillman had 12 and 5, and he had one nasty dunk in that game. But that was a good performance by the Grizzlies.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see if they continue here with going with this small starting lineup with Kyle Anderson at the 4. Now with Brandon Clark back, will they continue to go with that, or do they put Brandon Clark back in the starting lineup, or how they handle this? Because this small lineup has worked pretty darn well here over the stretch of games, whether it was with Bane was in the starting lineup or with Grayson Allen in the starting lineup, and again pushing Kyle to the 4. They've been pretty darn good offensively with that starting unit.
I would keep Anderson in right now at the 4, and then you have Clark and Tillman coming off the bench. Got a lot of firepower when this team is healthy. Now, again, they're not completely healthy by any stretch of the imagination. They get Clark back, but DeAnthony Melton is still out. And Bane was still out because of the personal reasons with the death of his grandma. So you get those guys back. Man, you're really deep on the wing. And then we are more than halfway through this month of February. And remember, you had Justice Winslow on that Zoom call with the media saying that he believes he'll play sometime in February. So we'll see if that happens. And then Jaren Jackson Jr. is expected to play before the season ends. This team with its full arsenal, man, oh man, that's some tough decisions that Taylor Jenkins and the staff will have to make as far as rotation. But I loved what they did last night. They started out well, and they never relinquished it. And again, they're 11-11, so not too bad.
Yeah, tomorrow night's big because for whatever reason the Pelicans are not that good. I mean, the Pelicans are 11-15, but the
but they beat the Grizzlies.
They just beat the Grizzlies. Like the last couple of years, they beat the Grizzlies. And now the Pelicans have lost the first 3 games on this road trip. They've been beaten by double digits in all 3, and it was the Bulls, Mavericks, and Pistons. It's not like this is the Lakers, Clippers, and 76ers or something.
Right, right.
This is the Bulls, Mavericks, and Pistons. First 3 games of the road trip, lost all by double digits. They've given up 129, 143, and 123 in those 3 games. Like, Grizzlies should beat them. Like, go beat this team once. I don't know why they can't beat the Pelicans.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, the last game they played, there was no Jonas and no Brandon Clark. I could be wrong, but I don't think they had Clark either. And you were getting a lot of minutes from Xavier Tillman and Gorgie Jang. And you're dealing with 2 unbelievably athletic bigs in Brandon Ingram and Zion Williamson.
Jonas played in the
He did play in that game?
That was when he came off the bench. He actually had
that's
good
right.
game.
Yeah, he had a really good game, but he came off the bench and played limited minutes. He only played 22 or 23 minutes, right? And had 23 points, I think it is, off the top of my head. So he wasn't in there as a starter, and he wasn't in there for the amount of minutes that he would normally play. I think now with Jonas, with Clark, they'll have a better opportunity. But it is a weird matchup because of New Orleans and these athletic bigs that they have. Both can step outside and normally do to knock down shots, whereas Zion can do that but also go inside and use his physicality. And he was just overpowering against a guy like Xavier Tillman. But Tillman's dunk last night. And then how about Sean McDermott came back last night, one of the two-way players. And he had a follow dunk.
Been really
towards
waiting
the end
for
of the
him
game.
to get healthy.
He had a
it's going to be the big difference maker there.
He had a follow dunk last night, though, emphatically bringing down the rain for the Grizzlies. But a real good night for the Grizzlies. All right, so we're close to a timeout here. And we have Craig Unger on the other side. So we'll hold off on Daytona 500 talk. But I want to get into that and talk about how much bad luck I had with gambling with the result of that one on the final lap. But there's a lot to talk to you about with the Daytona 500. Again, if you have any comments, questions, you can text in at 67129 First Bank text line. Also, any updates on traveling and your particular part of the Mid-South, what's going on with the weather, you can let us know so we can pass along that information as well. And then during open segments, you can call us as well, 360-8255. First Bank phone lines, 360-8255.
Have the Grizzlies beaten the Pelicans with Zion?
I don't
think they have. I think they are 0 against Zion.
I think that's quite possible.
They've only played once this year, right?
Mm-hmm.
I believe they're 0-4 against the Pelicans the last 2 years.
Just a bad matchup. Sometimes it's just a bad matchup. But I think with Clark, Valanciunas starting, I think they'll have a better opportunity, better chance to do so. All right, when we return, it's snowing outside, but baseball's right around the corner and a lot of changes for the Memphis Redbirds. Want to talk to Craig Unger about that, the big announcement on Friday that we talked about on the show with different opponents. They'll be in a different division, which will include teams that used to be in the old International, so now they combine things. Also want to get his thoughts on Memphis 901 FC as well as we get ready for their season. Last year, Memphis 901 FC was able to play some games with limited amount of fans. Of course, there was no minor league baseball, so financially it was strapping, I'm sure, for the organization. We'll talk to Craig about all those things when we return. This is Middays on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1 and 98.5.
The voice of your Memphis Tigers, Dave Woloshin. The man with all the stats, Brett Norsworthy. Together, an unbeatable combo of entertaining and insightful sports talk. Wolo and Stats, 3 hours a day, every weekday from 3 to 6 on Sports 56.
Hi, folks. Bob Burkham for Sunrise Buick GMC Truck. What a great time to buy a newer used car or truck and save money at Sunrise. The largest selection in over a year, over 900 new Buicks and GMCs to choose from, a $6 million used car inventory. See them all at sunrisememphis.com. Factory rebates up to $6,250 and Sunrise discounts high as $10,000. Immediate financing available with interest low as 0% on select models. Cars and trucks under $10,000. When it comes to selection and savings, it doesn't get any better than this, partner. Come on in and save some money at Sunrise, Covington Pike, Wolf Chase, and Collierville.
Progressive presents The Sounds of the Old World. The year is 2019, and someone is getting up to use the bathroom at the stadium.
Excuse me? Excuse me? Oh, sorry. Excuse me? You mind if I just squeeze by here?
This has been The Sounds of the Old World. Brought to you by Progressive, where drivers can still switch and save like it's 2019.
Quote today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
That's the sound of NyQuil Severe, hard at work. NyQuil Severe is the best sleep with a cold medicine. No tossing and turning, just rest and recovery. So you're ready to take on tomorrow. For powerful relief of your worst cold and flu symptoms, try NyQuil Severe. The nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, stuffy head, best sleep with a cold medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
A good friend of mine told me about this awesome place for lunch.
Oh, yeah? What's the name?
Neil's Grill and Bar, where the fat man rocks. Everybody knows Neil.
Where's it located?
It's located in Yorkshire Square off of Quince.
And what's it like?
The best lunch place in Memphis. You know, like real mashed potatoes and gravy. Everything is made from scratch. Monday through Friday, daily lunch specials like Monday baked chicken, Tuesday chicken fried steak, yum, fried chicken livers every Wednesday, Friday Salisbury steak, barbecue chicken, or if you just want a vegetable plate, the best veggies in town.
What about the lunch price?
Meat and 2 veggies, $7.95. Meat and 3 veggies, $9.99. And veggie plate, $8.95. Big fat boy portions, man.
Hey, you're making me hungry.
Come hear the best live local music at Neil's. Mondays karaoke, Tuesdays Debbie Jameson, Wednesdays Elmo and the Shades, Thursdays Eddie Smith, and the best Memphis music all weekend at Neil's Bar and Grill.
Where the fat man rocks.
I know the sweetest thing in Memphis, and I know it's been around for 115 years. You know, I'm talking about Dinstall's, and it's time to stock up heavy on Cashew Crunch, Heavenly Crunch, Turtlettes, all of your favorite Dinstall's treats. So easy to get. The sweetest thing in Memphis, all you have to do is head to Laurelwood or head to Germantown and Poplar right across from the hospital, or go where they make the candies. That's on Pleasant View. There's nothing that says Memphis better than Cashew Crunch with that little tinge of coconut, or the Turtlettes. Let's face it, there's nothing better than Dinstall's chocolate. That's the mainstay of all candies, isn't it? Milk chocolate, although their dark chocolate is pretty darn good. And if you get the peppermint with the dark chocolate and put it in the freezer, you're going to love it. So many ways to love Dinstall's. Stock up heavy on all of your favorite Dinstall's treats. 115 years of making Memphis oh so sweet.
Back to Sports 56 Middays. This hour of Sports 56 Middays is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers at 4900 Poplar. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
We welcome you back to Sports 56 Middays, 11:25 the time. Hour number 2 as we broadcast live from the Family Leisure Studios. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, and Gabe Kuhn. On Friday, we went over the information of what's going to be happening to the Redbirds, but also to baseball at the minor league level. A lot of changes has been made. It was a brutal last year. Of course, no minor league baseball at all last year. People here in Memphis unable to enjoy going over to AutoZone Park and watch the Redbirds. But they are gearing up for a new season. Hopefully, the COVID restrictions are reduced at some point. Even more fans will be able to go watch the team play. And there are going to be a lot of different opponents coming in for the Memphis Redbirds. So things are looking up, and we are very pleased to be joined by the president of both the Memphis Redbirds and Memphis 901 FC. He's Craig Unger. You can follow him on Twitter at MemphisGM. He joins us now on Sports 56 Middays. Hey, Craig.
Hey, guys. How are you?
Doing well. It sounds a little strange today to be talking baseball when we're blanketed with snow here
I think it sounds like the perfect time to be talking about baseball.
You look outside today and you say, man, let's play too. I mean, this is what it's all about.
I got it this morning and I was walking around like, I'm never going to complain about heat ever again. I'm never going to complain about the hot. It's like standing outside on a Sunday afternoon when it's 95 degrees for a game. Never going to complain about it ever again.
Exactly. And, of course, in a last year, and I'm going over the 2020 into the 2021, how crazy it's been for us, not only in our community, in this country, around the world. Why not have an epic snowstorm here in Memphis? It's just, I guess now it's all par for the course. But as I said, things are looking up. It's hard to believe, but things are looking up for professional minor league baseball and for the Memphis Redbirds with the news on Friday. In a nutshell, Craig, for people that don't know all this information, baseball has decided to cut out a bunch of minor league affiliates, and I think we're down to 120, the Redbirds being one of them. And the geographical changes that have been made, things of that nature. Explain why this is such a positive for baseball.
Well, I think you kind of have to, kind of look at this as a real big picture. And I think one thing to sort of, say there is that while the number of affiliated minor league baseball teams has dropped to 120, and that is 4 for every Major League Baseball team, to standardize that, some of the ones who have left affiliated baseball are still operating in a much different way. So as part of our group, we have the Williamsport Crosscutters, which used to be a New York Penn League team, which was a short season team, which was affiliated with the Phillies. It was it was below even Class A ball. While they no longer have an affiliation with the Phillies, they are now part of an affiliated league of Major League Baseball, which is called the MLB Draft League. So a number of the New York Penn League teams who were, what you would say is cut, that we don't see anymore as part of the umbrella of minor league baseball, they are going to have a team this year that is made up of the top prospects in baseball that will start after the college season is over. The MLB draft has been moved back to July, and their season is going to consist of these top prospects playing in a league with other top prospects. So let's call these, 6, 7 all-star teams that will go up there to try and improve their draft stock. And there's other teams that lost affiliation that are now part of other MLB-affiliated leagues. So I think that the overall, the footprint of baseball continues to grow. And what the benefit really becomes on this is that we're all under the purview of Major League Baseball. Before we had two governance worlds. You had Major League Baseball, which was operating, on one side, and minor league baseball was operating on the other. And the two worlds sometimes didn't see eye to eye. Mm-hmm. Major League Baseball's world is about player development. It is about developing the future stars to play at the major league level. Look, being a minor league baseball player is not a career. You've got really 6 to 8 years in the minor leagues, and if you don't make it, you're gone, and they move on with the next people. So that's that. Our job is the business side of that. And what this does, it now aligns all of those things. And where the fan will eventually see the big differences, the short term where the differences is yes, there's, sort of a realignment. There's a restructuring of teams. We are no longer in the Pacific Coast League. Look, I love the Pacific Coast League. Some great friends in there. But it just didn't make sense for the Memphis Redbirds to be going to Tacoma, Washington to play away games. Now we are going to play Gwinnett, which is the Atlanta AAA team. We're going to play Durham. We're going to play, Indianapolis, Charlotte. Go through these teams here in the Midwest, maybe Columbus, Toledo. All of a sudden it makes sense where the travel becomes optimized. And by the way, I like having the Durham Bulls coming to Memphis. I think that's cool. I love that Gwinnett, Atlanta, where we have a fan base here of where the Cardinals meet the Braves here in the South. Now we can welcome those fans into AutoZone Park. Mm-hmm. That's part of it. Also becomes now under MLB's umbrella, we get to share in a lot of the resources that MLB has from a fan perspective. First-in-class data, first-in-class, mobile apps for all the different things that they do. Their streaming service, people don't realize this, is MLB's streaming service, they sold it to Disney. It is what makes up Disney Plus today.
Wow.
So they have developed a lot of this great technology that over time we're going to be able to integrate into. Under the old world, we didn't operate that way. So these new licenses that you've heard about make us part of the Major League Baseball umbrella, which to us is very, very exciting. Not to ramble on, but the other side of this is from a player development standpoint. The facility standards, and this didn't necessarily apply to AutoZone Park because it is still a top 5 facility in all of minor league baseball, but the facility standards going across minor league baseball hadn't been updated in 30 years. And there's been a lot of changes from player amenities to the data analytics, upgrading Wi-Fi in your facilities that players can access video and access the data for. There's as much data as there is at MLB, there's just as much at the minor league level. We just don't hear about it. Those things are going to be more accessible to the players. The facilities and locker rooms being expanded and the players spend a lot of time here. All of those things are going to be a part of that. And obviously the geographical alignment that I talked about is great for the players because it cuts down on travel, and it's great for us as fans because it allows for baseball fans to be even better geographically aligned with where their teams are and being able to visit those areas.
And when you talk about being under the Major League Baseball umbrella, I know that's the only umbrella baseball guys like to talk about. They don't want to be talking about other umbrellas. But so how does the scheduling work, Craig? Because there's in the AAA, there's 20 teams in the East and 10 in the West, and then you got the divisions. Like, who will you be playing outside your division? How will it work?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we have not received the schedule yet, and it has not been sent out. Obviously, I think 2021 is going to have a different scheduling metric than future years with COVID and, reducing travel as much as we possibly can. But yes, I think, I would expect in the future that we would play within the East. Now, do I think we'll go to Syracuse or Buffalo, who are part of this AAA? Probably not. Okay. That's my gut tells me that. But I do think that even you take our division, which is Norfolk, Durham, Charlotte, Gwinnett, Nashville, and us. Do I think, and there might be one other team that I'm forgetting. Jacksonville.
The jumbo shrimp. How dare you forget the jumbo shrimp?
Do I think we're going to play Louisville? Absolutely. Do I think we're going to play Indianapolis? Absolutely. Do I think that we'll probably still somewhere out there play Iowa because of the Cardinals? Probably. Omaha? Maybe. The West is sort of a different animal, and that is what we're trying to reduce is the amount of travel, again, from us being in the central time zone, going 2 time zones to the West. That just doesn't make sense. So I would expect that over time to see that there's going to be a large variety of teams coming into Memphis and the Redbirds going there. I can probably pretty confidently say I don't think we're going to be going to Tacoma, to Sacramento, to Reno probably ever again, unless it's in a playoff situation or something else like that. I just don't see that happening in the regular season anymore.
Craig Unger joining us, president of the Memphis Redbirds and Memphis 901 FC. You can follow him on Twitter at MemphisGM. A few moments ago, you were talking about all these improvements and this, not only the stadium, but for the players themselves, things that you're looking at, I'm sure other clubs are looking at as well. After a year in which there was no games, from a financial standpoint, is this a mandate coming down from Major League Baseball, or are they helping in the financial situation for all these clubs to be able to update and do the things that need to be done?
No, these are improvements that are being done by the local clubs. We're the ones who control the facilities. We control the business operations of our facilities. And as I said, that for a lot of these places, these standards haven't changed in 30 years. So these standards were a needed update. The facilities need to be modernized. What I would say, for the most part, is most AAA teams probably don't fall into sort of any significant issues. And there's a time frame to do this. This is not a all or nothing by opening day of 2021.
Gotcha.
It is a phased in. The other difference in this, too, just to give you sort of a context of the bigger picture of this, is that in the old world of minor league baseball and Major League Baseball, we couldn't sign agreements with our Major League Baseball affiliates for any longer than 4 years. They were either 2-year contracts or 4-year contracts. Now, in the case of Memphis, again, we're a little bit different because of our relationship with the Cardinals, and the Cardinals are partners. They own part of the Memphis Redbirds. That we didn't have any issues of affiliation with the Cardinals. But in this new world, this is a 10-year contract, and every AAA team now has a 10-year contract. And what that does is it provides for the certainty of the teams to know that their affiliate that they have is going to be with them for 10 years. Mm-hmm. So the improvements that both sides have to agree upon, but there are some minimum standards inside there. And the minimum standards, frankly, are very, very reasonable. It's just a certain amount of square footage for locker rooms and clubhouses and eating spaces. So you have to have just a certain number of lockers, which, again, sounds simple, but in some cases, when you're talking about some facilities that are, 40, 50 years old, some of the space issues are things that just realistically need to be upgraded inside there. So this is a partnership. It's a partnership with Major League Baseball. For us, it's a continuation of our partnership with the St. Louis Cardinals, and we'll work together on things to make that when players are coming through Memphis, that this is the best possible place for them to play.
So one of the other things they announced as part of this was they said that player salaries will increase in a range from 38 to 72% for the 2021 season. Where is that extra money coming from? How does that working as far as the players getting more money?
Yeah, so all the players are paid by their Major League Baseball team. So, when I talk about sort of getting that partnership, and, really it's one of the hard things for people who aren't familiar with how the minor leagues work. I mean, I get, calls all the time and emails all the time. I'd love to try out for your team. Sorry, but I joke about it all the time. Is like, I'm usually the last person to know what players are coming and going, and the last person to know anything about baseball operations of what's going on there. So the St. Louis Cardinals decide on, what players will be assigned to Memphis, who gets called up to the big leagues, who gets sent back down, who comes from Double-A, and they have contracts with all of the players. So this is part of the investment by Major League Baseball and by our parent clubs as part of this restructuring is to provide higher salaries to the players. There's elimination of clubhouse dues and a whole bunch of other things as well. And again, it's part of the continued partnership to make the development of players and make it world class.
As you said, Craig, the schedule is not out yet, but do you anticipate it being a normal full schedule of games, or will there be less games? Have you heard anything about that?
Yeah, so I would expect that when the schedule comes out, it will be a full schedule. Our new licenses allow for up, 140 to 144 games per season, which is what we've always had. I would expect that, it will look, we've been told and look, there's major league teams already in camp. Most of the teams, I think the Cardinals start on Wednesday this week. There are teams that spring training has started, whether we know it or not. Mm-hmm. And what's happening is the major leagues have taken, I think the Cardinals are taking 65 or 70 players to spring training. When the big league teams break to start their regular season, we have been told to be ready for players at the same time, because what they're going to do is they're going to split up spring training into two groups. The first group is the major leaguers and the AAA players. And then once they're out of spring training, the Double-A, Single-A players will come in for spring training and eventually break camp a little bit later. So for us, though, we have been told, be ready. Obviously, COVID is still very present. Travel for us is a lot more challenging than it is in the big leagues, where they're taking, charter flights and they can, really kind of create their bubbles in a different way. So, we're going to have to navigate that a little bit, and that's something that we're still sort of working through. I think that there's, look, we're going to have baseball this year. There will be baseball at AutoZone Park, and we are preparing for a full season. If that gets cut a little bit, it gets cut a little bit, and we'll adjust. But look, I think we all know that vaccines are out there. They're coming fast and furious. I'm very optimistic that by middle of the year, anybody who wants one's going to be able to get one, and we're going to be in a much, much different place.
So along that line, like post-COVID, with this new alignment, is the expectation that you'll still play the same number of games, all that, like that stuff will be the same?
Yeah, we'll have 140, 144 games every year. That's what it's always been. So yeah, that is what from a player development standpoint, the big leagues want their players to play as many games as possible. It's going to be sort of business as usual. We'll see some different opponents. There may be some other little tweaks, but we're used to those. We've been the place where they tested the runner on second base in extra innings, pitch clocks and all those things. I would expect some of that stuff to continue too, where there might be little tweaks to the rules and some different things that we'll see at AAA and throughout the minor leagues now.
Well, we have you on the phone, as people know, and I mentioned, of course, Craig is also the president of Memphis 901 FC, and they were able to play a lot of games last season with limited amount of fans. It wasn't like baseball, minor league baseball, that was completely shut down, so there was some semblance of a season. I know that Tim and you and the powers that be made a change as your skipper. Your interim head coach was Ben Pierman. Is Ben going to be the coach this upcoming season, or have you not made a decision yet on the coaching situation with Memphis 901 FC?
We'll be making an announcement in very short time, I think. That process, the one thing is, I think there's a lot of people that, even though we had, 1 year, 2019 was our first year. Last year we had, one match in early March. I think, and I said this the other day too, is that, I think we've done a bad job of sort of educating people what's been going on, but the season's going to start late this year. Mm-hmm. We're likely going to start it's going to be in May. When we kick off, before it's typically been March, the first week in March. So it's a 2-month delay to the start of the season. So really our off season has been pushed back by 2 months. We just had 2 more months to sort of, regather. And obviously, November and December, we were all dealing with, pretty significant health crisis and holidays and everything else going on there that, that's the stuff that mattered. And we had to sort of navigate how the season was going to look. So from our standpoint, we're in the sort of our off season right now in a normal schedule. We're, it's not even March 1st yet. So we're still 2.5 months away from kicking off. So we got a lot of time, and we've taken our time through the process of this, and, we'll be making head coach announcement soon, and we'll be, I would expect a lot of player news to happen very, very quickly as well, once all those announcements start to flow.
Well, we are looking forward to some sort of normalcy. We all are in this world, and hopefully more so than not, we get to see not only the Redbirds out there, we get to see Memphis 901 FC, because it's always a great time to go over to AutoZone Park and watch a terrific sporting event. Craig, we really appreciate your time. I know you got a lot going on. Make sure to follow Craig on Twitter at MemphisGM. Thank you so much, and stay well. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Take care, Craig.
New Life Medical Center is closed today due to the weather, but hopefully they'll be able to reopen tomorrow at 9160 Highway 64. They're normally open 7:30 to 5, Monday through Friday, 9 to 1 on Saturday, doing primary and urgent care, so treating whatever it is that ails you. They do that at New Life Medical Center, and they also do COVID testing, and you don't have to get out of your car. You just pull up, give them a call. They come out to you to do the testing. They have the rapid test, which gives you results in as little as 15 minutes, so they do have those available, usually covered by insurance. If you've got any questions about that, about COVID testing or any other services they offer, you can give them a call at 213-0100. That's 213-0100. Again, they're located at 9160 Highway 64. It's not far off I-40 shopping center there called The Shops at Stonebridge. That's where you'll find New Life Medical Center. And again, whatever it is that ails you, they can take care of you with primary and urgent care. Again, they're closed today due to the weather, but hopefully we'll be reopening tomorrow. Open during the week, 7:30 to 5, Monday through Friday, and 9 to 1 on Saturday at New Life Medical Center.
Tennessee reportedly has a new defensive coordinator. And big shoes to fill, that even though Kevin Steele wasn't, I guess, technically the DC, but boy, that era will live in infamy.
Didn't give up a single point.
Did not give up a point. That is just unheard of. But we'll tell you who the new DC is, and he has roots back to the University of Memphis. That's next as we continue on Middays right here on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1 and 98.5.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio. We are Sports 56, 98.5, and 96.1.
For over 8 decades, America's farmers have counted on the Little Red Tractor from Case IH, the Farmall, to help them make short work of their demanding chores. Well, Mid-South Ag can show you they aren't just for farms anymore. With horsepower ranging from 30 to 105, plus an army of attachments, they can tackle every chore on your to-do list, from hauling and mowing to loading and towing and then some. Stop by Mid-South Ag Equipment or call 662-890-3141 to find a Case IH Farmall that's right for you.
At Jason's Deli, when you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises, just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and quick quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG, high fructose corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put into our food and what we take out of it, because you're not just taking a bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special diets with vegan and gluten-free options available. Convenience and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com, so whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied. Freshness is nearby at Jason's Deli with locations at Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, Poplar and Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli. It's wholesome food and no surprises.
Have you seen what's happening with the stock market? Record highs every day. How long can this possibly go on for? By the way, this is exactly what happened right before the 2000 dot-com bubbles burst. Remember that? Protect your savings in retirement by putting them into something safe like real gold and silver. I'm not talking about gold or silver stocks, but into real gold and silver you can actually hold in your hands. How do you get real gold and silver? By calling the Oxford Gold Group today at 833-600-GOLD. Now, the Oxford Gold Group will teach you everything you need to know about owning real gold and silver. It's so much easier than you think. So call the Oxford Gold Group right now at 833-600-GOLD to get your free gold and silver investment guide. The Oxford Gold Group is the only gold and silver company that I trust, and you should too. Get the Oxford Gold Investment Guide today and learn how easy it is to have real gold and silver delivered to your home, or how to have real gold and silver in your retirement account. Call the Oxford Gold Group today at 833-600-GOLD. That's 833-600-GOLD.
If you need glass replaced, there's only one name you need to know. Ben Swinger Glass, the largest full-service glass company in the U.S. They've been an industry leader for over 125 years. For all your residential, commercial, or auto glass needs, Ben Swinger Glass is the name you need to know. 24-hour emergency service for all commercial customers, plus a nationwide warranty on all professionally installed glass. 2 Memphis locations, one in Midtown on Hollywood Street across from the Liberty Bowl, and one in Cordova off Germantown Parkway next to the Fox and Hound. Visit their website, benswingerglass.com. Ben Swinger Glass.
The President's Day event is in full swing at Gossett Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Fiat on the Pike. And we're celebrating with 2020 Dodge Journey SE $19,990 or $249 a month. Or pump up your attitude with a 2021 Jeep Cherokee Latitude $21,740 or $277 a month. Or take your pick, 2020 Ram 1500 Quad Cab Tradesman or 2021 Dodge Challenger XST $339 a month. It's your choice, Ram 1500 or Challenger. We Gossett at $339 a month. So drive past the rest and come to the best. Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat 1901 Covington Pike, or shop online GossettMotorCars.net.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
Almost financed through Chrysler, all 3,500 cash down, 75 months at 4.19 APR. Journey LT 296,053, MSRP 26,860. Latitude MD 168,760, MSRP 27,805. 1500 LS 156,730, MSRP 35,185. Challenger MH 581,58, MSRP 31,160. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695. Excludes tax title and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 3/1/21. Dealer stock only.
Now, back to Sports 56 Middays. This hour of Sports 56 Middays is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers at 4900 Poplar. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
According to Pete Thamel, Tennessee finalizing a deal to hire Tim Banks as the school's new defensive coordinator. You may remember that name. Tim Banks was here in Memphis a couple of years coaching under Tommy West. He coached the linebackers 1 year and the DBs another year. But that was a while ago, I should say. Recently, He was the Penn State co-defensive coordinator, coached against the Tigers last year in the Cotton Bowl, I guess 2 years ago technically. Banks also experienced at Illinois, Cincinnati, and Central Michigan.
They went through a lot of names. They finally got somebody.
Yeah.
There were a lot of guys who were supposed to be getting the job, and then now they finalized somebody.
Eli, how will you remember the Chris Doyle era in Jacksonville?
Much like the Kevin Steele era at Tennessee. Very similar results.
Chris Doyle, if you missed this over the weekend, steps down after taking the Jag strength and conditioning job. Urban Meyer hiring him. He was the disgraced Iowa coach who was let go amidst racial words and things of that nature, and just the whole atmosphere at Iowa. He was right in the middle, right central casting. He was the bad guy at Iowa, and while everybody deserves a second chance, I mean, for Urban Meyer to just take over in Jacksonville and bring this guy in was such a bad move, and we knew that right off the bat. So I would imagine that ownership got to him, and even though they said that it was Chris Doyle's decision to step down, you got to think that he was urged on from Urban himself.
I don't. This is very baffling to me. Did they think they were just going to hire Chris Doyle and there would be no criticism whatsoever? Like the people would just be like, okay, well, that's fine. They would hear nothing. Like if you were going to, resign or get rid of him because of the criticism, then what the hell did you hire him for in the first place? I could have told you there was criticism coming. I
believe that they felt that he was going to slide right in there and people weren't going to notice.
I mean, they said in their statement, the team failed to properly consider the impact of hiring Doyle. Really? Like you didn't take a second to look, like maybe this probably won't go over well. Are we willing to do this? Are we really willing to do this? Because this is going to be criticized. This isn't going to go over well. Like you didn't have that thought process before you actually hired him?
I don't believe that. I think they knew that this could happen. It could blow up in their face, but it's Urban's guy, Urban's connection going way back to Utah, and they thought maybe we can slide in there. It's Jacksonville. For goodness sakes, they just had the whole deal in Dallas where the national anthem wasn't played for 13 games at home games for the Mavericks, and then that, of course, became a huge story. So maybe they thought they can kind of sneak this guy in there. But there's no way in this world of social media that you're going to do that. And it blew up in their face. It imploded. So I'm thinking that it wasn't just Doyle looking at all the bad pub, because Doyle probably knew that this was going to happen. I think it was basically Urban Meyer with ownership. Who's it? Kahn? Who's the owner of Jacksonville? It's Kahn, right?
So, yep.
Right? And then I think he probably said, "Listen, Urban, yeah, we got to make a change here." And then he went and told Chris, and Chris stepped down. I think it's how.
Well, exactly. But again, like how. If you're Urban Meyer, like if you were going to tell him to quit at the first criticism, then you should have never hired. Like, how did you?
Exactly.
If you thought this was not going to happen, if you were just going to have no criticism for hiring this guy, you are an idiot. Like,
he probably knew there was going to be criticism, but he probably thought it wasn't going to be that bad because he's Urban Meyer. People like, for the most part, Urban Meyer. It's Jacksonville. They'll slide in, they'll slip him in, and then it will go unnoticed. And there won't be that much backlash if there is somebody noticing, but he was completely wrong. So not a good first step for Urban Meyer, to say the least.
Read the room. You got to read the room, man. I mean, I just like that is amazing to me that if you come out and say we didn't realize like the distraction or whatever the effect. Come on, man. Like this was not hard to predict.
Right.
Exactly what the reaction was going to be.
Right.
And you guys, it lasted all of 2 days. A day before you get rid of him? I don't know. That is beyond belief that you could be that naive to what the situation is and was going to be.
Coming up in hour number 3, we're going to talk Daytona 500. Also, back to the NBA, some Kyrie Irving news. Major League Baseball, we got some news as well. And then the whole controversy, the stupid controversy surrounding Tom Brady tossing the Lombardi Trophy during the celebration of the Buccaneers Super Bowl win. We will get into that as well in hour number 3. We'd love to hear from you on the First Bank text line at 67129. First Bank phone lines are open as well at 360-8255.
Raider Corey texts in, says Urban Meyer needs his head examined. This isn't college football. Your decision on this as a rookie NFL head coach is baffling and shows insensitive and naive thoughts.
Yeah.
It's
a stupid
decision. It's as naive as it gets. I mean, I just don't understand how you thought that there was not going to be any issues here, and if it was going to happen this quick, then the hiring of him was idiotic for sure.
Well, I like how you described it. Read the room. All right, have a sense of what type of reaction it's going to be. Or you're Urban Meyer and you just don't care. Well, that's going to backfire as well because there are too many people out there that care, and they're going to make they're going to make themselves noticed. And you're an owner with the Jacksonville Jaguars, and you can't allow that to happen. You can't have bad publicity. This isn't one of those deals where all publicity is good publicity. No, bad publicity is bad publicity. And that's not the way you want to start off this new era with Urban Meyer running the show. One of the things I love about betting on basketball is I'm always finding new player props or game props that I like. And what's cool about FanDuel Sportsbook is that you can combine those props with other bets from the same game to score an even bigger payout. It's called a same-game parlay bet, and you can only find them at FanDuel. And right now, new and existing users can get up to $25 back each day if your parlay falls one leg short with the same-game parlay insurance. You heard that right, every single day. I had one yesterday. I unfortunately fell 2 legs short, so I don't get that money back. But that is a great deal. You play it, you come up one short, you get the money back. That's another reason why I love FanDuel, and that's why I bet on FanDuel. It's easy to use, fast withdrawals, odds boosts, and specials. So just download the FanDuel Sportsbook app today to try the same-game parlay and use promo code GASMAN at sign-up. That's promo code GASMAN. Must be 21 or older, present in Tennessee. Refund issued as non-withdrawable site credit that expires in 7 days. The max refund is $25. Terms apply. See sportsbook.fanduel.com for details. For problem gambling support, call 1-800-889-9789. This is Middays on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1 and 98.5.
First Bank is here to help you, whether you're a business looking for a loan to expand or refinance an existing one, a homeowner looking for a mortgage or home equity line, a consumer wanting to finance your dream car, or wanting a competitive rate on your CD deposits. Let First Bank try to handle your banking needs. Stop into one of First Bank's 3 local branches today, 6482 Poplar Avenue just east of International Paper, 8398 Highway 64 across from Wolf Chase, and 6280 Highway 64 in Oakland. Or check them out online at firstbankonline.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
You hear the phrase all day, every day. In these uncertain times this, in these uncertain times that. Well, in these uncertain times, one thing I know for certain, you want you some Central Barbecue. Central Barbecue is open for you to dine in or carry out, online orders and curbside pickup. And another thing you can be certain about is this. We are doing everything in our power to keep you and our staff safe. You can be sure that everyone working at any Central Barbecue is following every safety protocol there is, and they'll encourage you to do the same. Come on in and get some Central Barbecue. And yes, your face covering is probably going to end up with some sauce on it. A small price to pay for safety.
I'll be right there. We got to redo the whole thing then.
Indeed knows unexpected growth can stretch your business thin.
We need to finish these today.
Like at Phil's Machine Shop. To keep carving out more revenue, he needs to get started hiring right away.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. And the moment you sponsor a job on Indeed, you get a short list of quality candidates from our resume database. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get a $75 credit for your first sponsored job post. Terms and conditions apply.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roof Services. You've heard me talk about how we offer the best products, the best warranties, and the best services for years. Now let's talk about pricing. Pricing should never be the only reason you hire a contractor, but in today's world, pricing is always a consideration. So we suggest you get 2 or 3 estimates for your roof replacement from a reputable, licensed, and insured company, and then give us a call. If we can't beat your best price for a comparable roof system by more than $100, we'll give you $100. It's that simple. We are We're so sure we can offer you the best price, beating all other qualified companies. We will hand you $100 if we can't, and thank you for the opportunity. So give us a call. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? Make $100? 5 Ash Roof Services, a proud supporter of Tiger Athletics and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. 5 Ash Roof Services, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
5 Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Mount Moriah Auto Sales. What sets them apart? Great selection, quality, high-end to low-end cars, and low mileage. Mount Moriah Auto Sales is under new management. Ask for Emmett or Steven. Check out their great selection of cars or trucks. Choose from Dodges, Jeeps, Fords, GMCs, Infinitis, Porsches, Range Rovers, Lexus, Mercedes, BMWs, even Bentleys. Mount Moriah Auto Sales also has a great service department with 12 bays for everything from oil changes to alignment to new tires. Go to MountMoriahAutoSales.com. Pick out your like new car or truck today. Mount Moriah Auto Sales, right on the corner and right on the price.
I'm here with the great Pat Donahue from the Rendezvous Restaurant Shipping Department.
Thanks, Brett. We've been shipping our ribs all over the country now for decades from our USDA-inspected shipping kitchen in the Pinch District. We hand-cook our ribs in pits that Mr. Charlie built over charcoal, just like they do at the restaurant.
So what comes in a rib box?
We could do pork shoulder, we could do ribs, our sauce, seasoning, baked beans, coleslaw. We'll even throw in Pancho's cheese dip with our nacho boxes. We also put a bag of Rendezvous seasoned popcorn, heating instructions, some chef hats, some wet naps, and some other helpful tips from our kitchen. We ship our ribs overnight, exclusively FedEx. And we put them in nice packaging. We don't ever want to use styrofoam, so we use corrugated cardboard, actually 2 boxes that fit nice together, so the ribs get to you, your loved ones, or your clients in a safe, wholesome manner. Rendezvous ribs are perfect for out-of-town clients, customers, loved ones. We also ship ribs for any occasion.
Where do we order these great ribs?
You can go to www.hogsfly.com or give us a call at 1-888-464-7359.
Charlie Burgos' Rendezvous Restaurant in the alley since 1948.
Listen Sundays at 11 a.m. to join Idlewild Presbyterian Church for worship. Idlewild is a PCUSA church located in Midtown Memphis.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis, W253DF Memphis, and WIVG Tunica Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Now, back to Sports 56 Middays. This hour is brought to you by East Memphis Ace Hardware at Quince and White Station. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back. 12:02 the time. Final hour for us today here on this President's Day Monday. Snowmageddon 2021. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, Gabe Kuhn. Having a good old time here in the Family Leisure Studios where it's nice and toasty. Family Leisure, 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40. Third hour of the program is brought to you by East Memphis Ace Hardware, located at 5143 Quince Road, next door to Billy Hardwick's All-Star Lanes. They carry local products. They have a full-time locksmith on duty. It's so convenient. Great service, knowledge, and price. Ace Hardware and online at acehardware.com.
The snow has let up quite a bit. Just a little light, very light stuff. Somebody texted in, said that out in Bartlett the snow had stopped. So it's letting up a little bit. I don't know if we're supposed to where we stand as far as there's another wave coming through here, but because I think we're supposed to go to like 4:00 or so is what they had said.
Yeah, I thought it was going to go a lot later, but you're right. There could be a second hit of this stuff, but I'll be happy if it's over. If the worst part is behind us, so I'll settle for that. Latest AP Top 25 men's basketball poll is out. I believe I'm looking at the right one. I'm trying to find a date on this. It's tough to tell because Gonzaga and Baylor are 1-2, and they've been 1-2 the whole season. Gonzaga 59 votes, Baylor 5 votes for first place. Gonzaga 1, Baylor 2, Michigan 3, Ohio State 4, and Illinois 5. How about the Big Ten? Numbers 3, 4, and 5. Houston is 6, Virginia 7, then Alabama 8, Oklahoma at number 9, and Villanova rounds out the top 10. Other teams of note, Creighton all the way up to 14. They had the big win over Villanova over the weekend. Tennessee right now at number 19, and Missouri at number 20. Arkansas into the top 25, as they are now 16-5. They got the win at Mizzou, so they are number 24. San Diego State rounds out the top 25. By the way, Loyola Chicago in at 22. They split their 2 games with Drake. over the weekend. Good little top-heavy conference, but Loyola of Chicago and Drake are both good.
Again, were those two games, because Loyola blew them out in the first game, and then Drake came back and won the second game. Jerry Palm, by the way, in his updated bracket today, he has, we're talking about the teams from what the NCAA did on Saturday. He dropped Tennessee down to a 4, and Missouri dropped down to a 5, with Florida State getting into that top 16 as a 4 seed to replace Missouri. He has Drake as one of his last 4 in. He still has Wichita State among the first 4 out on his bracketology, again, that was updated today.
Interesting, with the AP vote, Wichita State's only got 1. As far as others receiving votes, they got 1 vote. Florida's got 17, and I believe there was one other SEC team in there, if I could find them. Nope, that's it. LSU. LSU got 16. So Florida got 17, LSU got 16. But it is Tennessee at number 19, Missouri at number 20, and Arkansas at number 24, and, of course, Alabama leading the way at number 8 in the latest AP men's basketball poll. All right, so the Daytona 500, the Great American Race, was held yesterday. And, boy, oh boy, it was a long day if you are a NASCAR fan, because the race started and then there was a major crash involving 16 cars early in the race, and then subsequently a long rain delay. So the race ended up being resumed late, did not end until 12:19 Eastern time, so 11:19 here in the central portion of the United States. And Michael McDowell gets his first ever win in the Cup Series. He's the 8th driver to make their first win at the Cup level, the Daytona 500, which is crazy, but it just goes to show you that anything's possible at the Daytona 500. You have a lot of surprise winners because there are a lot of crashes. They call them the big ones. Well, there was 2 big ones in this particular race. And I'll give you a prime example of guys winning and really not doing much else in their careers. Derek Cope, former Daytona 500 winner, at 62 years of age, was in the field. And we talked about this last week with Nick Bromberg. He was out of the race on the 3rd lap. I don't get it. I'm shocked. I'm really shocked that the 62-year-old guy didn't do better. I really felt like he was probably going to win this thing. I just was blown away to see him out of the race early. Just didn't. I don't know how anybody could have seen that coming. I mean, it was like a version of Old Timers Day. Like at Old Timers Day at Yankee Stadium, some of the greats from before. Now, he wasn't a great, but he was a Daytona 500 winner. But when you're driving around with bifocals on, I mean, it's not the way to do it. And, again, I know it's because of, like, the ownership points and things of that nature, but it made no sense for him to be in there. But he was a non-factor. The big crash took out a bunch of drivers. And I thought to myself, I got a chance here. Because I bet a few of these guys, I said, I got a really good chance. And so let's fast forward to later in the night when they resume the race. And we get to the final lap. And you know something's going to happen because it always does. So Joey Logano, one of my bets, is leading. And Brad Keselowski, who just doesn't do well at the 500, but I saw this on FanDuel where you bet him to finish in the top 3. So here he comes, the challenge. And I'm thinking, oh, my gosh, I might get the win and get a guy who comes in second. Logano goes low to try to block off Keselowski. They're teammates, by the way, and they crash. He crashes them into the wall. It starts a chain reaction. And Michael McDowell, right? Everybody knows Michael McDowell. He wins the Daytona 500. All right. I got a couple of questions on this whole thing because I'm not a NASCAR person, but I did figure out that I actually made a couple of bets on it just to have a little fun in it. I watched more of the Daytona 500 than I've ever watched in my entire life. So I didn't watch a whole lot of it, but I watched more than I've ever watched in my entire life. Did you win? I did not. Okay. I did have that. I did that Keselowski bet, and I had what else did I have? I had Ryan Preece to finish top 2. He had a pretty good. He did well. But anyway, the
the crash on the final lap, is it only on the final lap that it just shuts down? Like, what happened? Isn't there a way that they can end up going extra laps or something?
Yes. It all depends on when the caution comes out, where they are on the track. There's a spot that they have to be beyond to call it an official, not official race, but you race to the finish line. So that was one of those deals where the caution didn't happen before the line, where they would have another lap, where they would have the what do they call it, the green-white checker, I think, all on the same lap. So I'm pretty sure that's the reason why. So unfortunately, they were past the line, and Keselowski takes out Logano. Chain reaction. Who comes out of it? It's McDowell. I mean,
because I thought with that, I was like, with that wreck, I was like, oh, okay, we're going to have another few laps here. Then all of a sudden they're like, oh, it looks like he won. I'm like, what? What happened? Like,
I know.
The race is over? That's very anticlimactic. Like, there's fire thrown everywhere, and all of a sudden we just tell the, I'm like, man, this is amazing. There's fire, there's cars, everything else. And like, oh, by the way, this guy won. I'm like, what? Like, he won? Like, what the hell? How does he win? Like, there's what's going on here?
I'm with you. I did the same thing. I thought we were going to have overtime, they called, but then when Mike Joyce said he got to the line, I go, oh, man, I lost. I had, bet on 4 or 5 different guys, and I have the 1 and 2 going into the final. They're in the final lap, for goodness sakes. They're halfway around the track. That's just the bad luck, and that's Daytona. That's Daytona and Talladega, these super speedways. You have these type of accidents. And the fans love it, and luckily for all the guys, they walked away from it. Remember last year, Ryan Newman got caught up in the big crash and nearly died.
Okay, and then the other question I had, and again, because I am very much a novice in the old world of auto racing. So I understand that you've got the teammates on the same racing team. I didn't realize, like, so if you drive a Ford, like, you really support all the other Fords, or if you drive a Chevy, you really support all the other Chevys, and the Toyotas are together. Like, they're really that, like, just because what kind of car you drive, they stick that close together too?
Well, in theory, first thing is your teammates from the same ownership group. Like, are you part of the Joe Gibbs racing team? You part of the Chip Ganassi racing team? So first is your teammate. Then second is the car you drive. Do you drive a Ford? Do you drive a Toyota? It's weird. So, I mean, that's too many things to be thinking about when you're driving around the track at that speed to see who's going to be helping you or is in line to help you, who can you call on as a friend, who's a foe. There's just too much going on. And then here's another weird thing. You have Denny Hamlin, who was going for 3 in a row, which just doesn't happen. And he had a great finish. He had a chance. I think he won the first 2 stages, by the way. So here's Hamlin, who is part of he doesn't own his car. He drives for, who does he drive for, Hamlin? Does he drive for Gibbs or Hendrick? I'm trying to remember. But anyway, he's part of that team. And he's also an owner of a car, a part owner, with Michael Jordan, making their debut with Bubba Wallace's car, the number 23 car. So here's a guy who's racing for himself as part of one ownership team that he's not part of the ownership. He's just the driver. And then he has another car in the race he has a vested interest in the thing because he's put his money into it. So, yeah, I mean, are you going to make decisions upon that? I mean, knowing that you own that car?
Because there was, so what, McDowell was driving what, a Ford? Was he Ford, Chevy? What was
I
he?
have no idea what McDowell was driving.
Whatever it was, but they were interviewing one of the guys that was involved in the crash afterwards. And it was weird because at the end, all the Chevys went and pitted together, and then all the Fords went and pitted together, and all the Toyotas went and pitted together. And I'm like, is this like the thing? Like, I didn't realize they stuck together based on the type of car you drive like this. And then after the race, they were interviewing one of the guys. I don't know which one it was that was involved in the crash. And he was like, disappointing about me, but he's like, but at least another Ford won. I'm like, really? That's like, who cares what do you get out of the Ford winning?
I know.
Just because you drive a Ford do you get anything out of that whatsoever that a Ford won and you happen to drive a Ford?
Yeah, it's
like,
weird.
That to me is no consolation to anything. You just had a chance to win the Daytona 500, got involved in a wreck, and you're like, well, hey, at least another Ford won.
Well, again,
who cares?
After the fact, they say all the right things, and in theory it's your teammate and then it's the manufacturer of the car, like what company it is. But just look at Keselowski. Look at what Keselowski was trying to do. He was trying to win the race. We played to win the race. Keselowski's trying to get by Logano. Logano's trying to block him because he wants to win. They're teammates, for goodness sakes, and they crash. So all bets are off. They may say the right things at the end, Eli, but when they are racing, they couldn't care less about anything other than their car, and possibly if it's a friend who's going to be able to help them if they need a push or something like that. So sometimes they'll kind of align themselves in position on the outside or the inside, depending on whether it's a teammate, and so they need a push for the draft and all that stuff. So that's what a lot of stuff comes into play. But when they're racing for themselves.
And
Let's
we
be
got
honest.
a text on the First Bank text line. Somebody says most drivers say at 7 laps everything's off. They're going for the win.
Yes.
But,
unwritten rule.
But I guess if you don't get it, as long as the same type of car you're driving gets it, it can at least make you feel better. I was just confused by I was just like, what in the world? Like that really? That is something that it comes to your mind to say after being involved in a crash that ends your chances of winning the Daytona 500 in the final lap. You go, well, at least the Ford won.
Yeah, it's like as bad as saying.
I mean, is Ford paying him to say that?
I don't know.
That blew me away that was something that would be said.
Dude crashes and he goes, well, at least a car with a single-digit numeral like myself won. That's what's important.
I'm just glad a yellow car won because, I got a little yellow in my car. And we yellow cars, we really like to stick together as much as we possibly can. Man, I just love the fact that another yellow car won this race. That was amazing. It's really one of the great nights in history for yellow cars. I couldn't be happier to be a part of the yellow car family.
Oh, my gosh. Well,
me and cab drivers everywhere are excited as hell tonight because a yellow car won this damn race.
That's good stuff. Also yesterday happening but not so much on my television, and that was the final round of Pebble Beach on the PGA Tour. And I say that because I don't know if other people have DirecTV and had the issues I had with Channel 3. But it was just bad, and I couldn't watch it. So I had to go to my iPad and the CBS app, and I watched the final round of Pebble Beach. I love golf, number one. Number two, I had a couple of bets on that as well. And Daniel Berger, who I did not bet on, ended up winning Pebble Beach. And Daniel Berger's a cool dude. He's won twice in Memphis. He shot 65 on Sunday. How about him eagling the final hole to put it away? And Jordan Spieth, for the second straight week, in position to break a long losing streak. He had a chance at Phoenix, and then he flopped on Sunday. He flops again in this one. At least he's getting better. He's putting himself in position. Jordan Spieth, who has, 3 majors to his credit?
Yes.
3 or 4, right?
I think it's 4, right? I don't remember. Something like that, yeah. I know he's won 3 of them, so I know he's won 3. The only major he hasn't won is the PGA.
Can you check if Spieth has 3 or 4? But the point is, Spieth was at one point maybe the best golfer in the world, and then he's really hit some hard times. Now he's put himself in – he's got 3, right? Okay. So he's put himself into not only competition but a chance to take a lead into final round play at Phoenix and lost, and then right up there as well here in this event at Pebble Beach and lost. And I knew it was going to happen. It's unfortunate he can't get over the hump yet. But Daniel Berger's a very good golfer. He's had some injuries that have curtailed his career at points, but he's back playing well. He's one of those guys that I can see going to Augusta and being a long shot and winning. He shot 65 again on Sunday. Congratulations to him.
He made 4 eagles for the week, which is pretty darn impressive to begin with. But, yeah, eagle in that last hole, man, that's about as good as you could play that hole.
Exactly.
I felt for Nate Lashley. Boy, that's tied for the lead in 4-putt from 13 feet away. That is that's a rough one to recover from.
Yes, it is.
That's every one of those little putts, the thousands of dollars that you are just swiping by the cup on every one of those. That is brutal to have a situation like that. Man, I was like, if this dude can do anything the rest of the day, I applaud him because I would be losing my mind right now.
By the way, how nice is his swing, Lashley?
Well, they're all.
I know, but
they're professional golfers.
No, but it wasn't just. It was a real nice swing. It seemed like he wasn't even swinging I know it's a cliche. He didn't swing hard. Well, watch Rory McIlroy. Watch Tiger Woods. They swing hard as hell. This guy swung so easy. I didn't think he was going to make contact. Really, really cool swing. Did you see, I don't know if it was Friday. It might have been round 2. Francesco Molinari roll one off the tee box?
No, I did not see that.
How about that? It even happens to the best in the world. Something that we all know.
I had Francesco to finish in the top 20, and he didn't, so that's all I care about with him.
Well, he's rolling him off the tee. That's not going to help. From the world of Major League Baseball, Justin Turner has decided to stay with the Dodgers. 2 years, $34 million. Why not?
I'm shocked. The Dodgers signed somebody.
$17 million per year for the next 2 to probably win another World Series title. Why wouldn't you want to stay there? From the NBA, Kyrie Irving has spoken. He's not talking about the world being flat, the earth being flat, or anything like that. He actually went to James Harden and said to Harden, "You're the point guard, I'm the 2. That's it. You're the point guard, I'm the 2. And Brooklyn looked great the other night. I watched them play at Golden State. I don't know. Maybe that works.
Now they're going to be without Durant for a couple of games.
Yeah, Durant plays for a game and then is out with COVID or sprains his ankle, or he just can't stay healthy for whatever the reason may be. But Kyrie Irving and James Harden trying to make sure there's no problems, no animosity. James Harden will be the point. But when I watched that game, it seemed like Kyrie Irving just took a rebound and went coast to coast. I still believe Kyrie Irving is the best finisher I've ever seen. Like for a layup to go reverse, throw the English on the ball. I've never seen anybody as good as Kyrie Irving in the way he finishes.
And call me old school, but back in my day, I thought the coach might decide that who was the point guard. I don't know. That's just I don't things are different these days. But back in my day, the coach actually told us what position we played.
You mean the coach who is a Hall of Famer who played point guard and won 2 MVPs? That coach?
Well, I didn't have that coach, but my coaches told us what position we were going to play. We didn't get together before the game and say, "Hey, I'll play the 2 today. You go ahead and play the 1."
Right.
I mean, the coach was like, "Hey, you are going to play this position. This is what the position that you actually play." We practiced in those positions, and then we played in those positions. We didn't just tell each other, "Hey, by the way, you're going to be the point guard today."
So you're saying your coach had authority.
That's old school. That is old
authority.
School. That is a whole different way of thinking. Why? Who needs coaches to tell them what position they're playing?
Why would you expect anything different from Kyrie Irving, who came out and said, "We don't have one coach. We have multiple coaches. One coach, I could be a coach for one night, and then KD will be a coach for another night."
This must have been the day or night he was coaching. He was deciding the positions everybody was playing. So he took his day. This was his day. He drew the straw to be the coach that day, apparently, and said, "All right, since I'm the coach today, I'm going to go ahead and play the 2, and James, you go ahead and be the 1 because I'm making the decisions now."
Nash apparently is a pacifist. He doesn't want to cause any issues. So you're fine, Coach Kyrie, if that's what you want to do. I'm good with it. All I know is Brooklyn looked really good that night. And the other thing I know is Kyrie's really weird. He's a weird dude, man. He's bonkers. All right, when we come back, Tom Brady throwing the Lombardi Trophy has had repercussions. Why? We'll tell you about it when we return. This is Middays on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1 and 98.5.
Same great shows.
We welcome you back to Sports 56 Middays.
What's up? It's Sports 56 Happy Hour.
A new spot on the FM dial. Check out Sports 56 on our new FM home at 98.5.
It's February. Hi, this is John Conway with Conway Services. Are you considering replacing your air conditioning system this spring? Conway Services and Carrier have teamed up to make now the perfect time to replace that old energy-guzzling system. February is one of our slowest months of the year. Our warehouse is full and our crews are slow. So to spark business during these slow winter months, Conway Services is giving away Carrier 80% gas furnaces absolutely free with the purchase of a standard Carrier air conditioning system. That's right, purchase a Carrier air conditioning system during the month of February and get a gas furnace for free. If that's not enough, we'll include an April air cleaner, 10-year parts warranty, and a free Nest thermostat, plus 12 months interest-free. See why I call it February? And you know with Conway Services, you'll be receiving our award-winning service every time. So call Conway Services, the Mid-South's premier heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric service company today, and the first 30 callers with a 10-year-old heating and air conditioning system will come out and inspect it absolutely free.
Call 384-3511. Conway Services. Call Conway today.
The President's Day sales event is going strong at Gossett Kia on Covington Pike. 2021 Kia Forte $133 a month lease. That's less than $5 a day for a new ride. 2021 Kia Soul, completely redesigned exterior and interior, $149 a month lease. And 2021 Kia K5, just $182 a month lease. All 36 months with $3149 due at signing, and they all come with Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. So let's conquer the cold and gear up for winter in your new Kia from Gossett Kia, 1900 Covington Pike, or online at KiaCovingtonPike.com. Ask for Bobby J. He'll put you in a new Kia today.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 36-month leases, $3149 due at signing, 0 security deposit, 10,000 miles per year, 20 cents excess mileage, $650 acquisition fee, Forte, ME3 19038, MSRP $20,625, Soul, M7755 $638, MSRP $20,660, K5 MG 005560, MSRP $25,725, includes all manufacturer rebates and incentives, PF $695, excludes tax title and license, with approved credit, see dealer for complete details, offer valid through 3/1/21, dealer stock only.
The fun continues at Family Leisure with a brand new Factory Direct pool and patio sale. The new 2021 inventory is in. You got to get ready now and beat the rush. Become the first one to have your pool installed. They have spas in stock, and those are ready for installation right now, too. Complete your backyard with a new set of patio furniture, all state-of-the-art. Special financing available. Family Leisure, I-40 and Whidden Road, where family and fun come together.
This is a job alert. If you're looking for work, this will interest you. Whether you're looking for full-time, part-time, or even something temporary if you've been recently furloughed, text 107-JOB to 49330. That's 107-JOB to 49330. Office work available now in a clean office environment with all COVID precautions taken. Text 107-JOB to 49330 and someone will be in touch about these job opportunities available now. Text 107-JOB to 49330.
I hate Tom's Tulip Shop. It just smells so flowery. Like we're good at your flower shop. You don't need to remind us.
No matter how hard you work for your small business, online reviewers will find something to complain about.
I needed a fake plant. They don't sell fake plants. Thanks for nothing, Tom.
And while Progressive can't save you from these trolls, we can help you save money on commercial auto and business insurance.
Then he says, have a great day. I'll decide what kind of day to have.
Get a quote online today at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliated and third-party insurers.
Listen Sundays at 11 a.m. to join Idlewild Presbyterian Church for worship. Idlewild is a PCUSA church located in Midtown Memphis.
Now, back to Sports 56 Middays. This hour is brought to you by East Memphis Ace Hardware at Quincy White Station. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
I was a highwayman. Along the coach roads I did ride.
If you missed the news, Gus Malzahn is going to become the new head coach at UCF, hired by Terry Mohajir, their new AD. They worked together in Jonesboro at Arkansas State, but Mohajir did not hire Gus Malzahn. If you were to put power rankings right now for head coaches going into the 2021 season for the American Conference, where would you put Gus Malzahn?
I mean, he'd be up close to the top. I mean, just based on his overall record.
Probably number one.
I don't know if I'd put him number one. Luke Fickell, Sonny Dykes may have them ahead. But is he right?
Dykes?
I'd have him ahead.
Yeah.
I'd have him ahead of
I'd
Dykes.
have him ahead of Dykes. I agree with Fickell, but I
would probably say
close.
Fickell would be the one that you would put ahead of him.
Dykes is pretty strong. You can make that argument. But, yeah, I think he'd certainly be way up there. But, yeah, that's the news of the morning if you missed that. All right, so the daughter of the silversmith who made the first Vince Lombardi trophy has demanded an apology from one Tom Goat Brady after the star threw this year's version from a yacht while celebrating winning his 7th Super Bowl. By the way, that was his yacht. It's worth $2 million.
Weak.
Lorraine Groves, whose father, Greg Groves, crafted the first Lombardi trophy, and he was the master silversmith at Tiffany and Company from 1967 to 1994, said that...
Well, let's listen. Let's listen to it.
Oh, you have the sound clip?
Let's listen
I didn't know.
This is absolutely outstanding.
Okay.
And it takes a lot of work, a lot of hard work, a lot of hours go into it. It just really upset me that This trophy was disgraced and disrespected by being thrown as if it was a real football. I didn't sleep for the past 2 nights because of this. I was that upset because I know the passion that goes into this trophy and how my dad and all his fellow silversmiths are so proud to make this. I personally would like an apology, not just to me and my family and the other silversmiths, but to the fans.
To all the silversmiths of the world.
Oh, gosh. Really? Really?
Isn't that apropos?
She hasn't slept for 2 days because Tom Brady tossed the trophy to somebody else.
Isn't that apropos, though, for how sensitive we are as a world today? Unless she just wants her 15 minutes of fame.
She wants an apology to her. She said, not just to me. Why do you get an apology?
Because she's kin, man.
And
to all the silversmiths of the world.
She said, I haven't slept in 2 days.
I don't
really?
care.
Like if that keeps you from sleeping for 2 days, you got some serious problems. You need to go see a doctor about your sleeping problems.
I don't care if the pass wasn't completed and that trophy fell down the river to the bottom and they had to go get it. That lady doesn't deserve any apology. First of all, it's not the Stanley Cup, which they do crazy things with the Stanley Cup. Some that are not even mentioned, you can't even mention on the air. And there's only one Stanley Cup. If I'm not mistaken, there's a bunch of Lombardi trophies, right?
Yeah, there's been 55 of them now.
Yeah, it's not like you get it, you got to pass it around, and the name goes on it like the Stanley Cup. But that's that's aside from the whole point. The point is that he threw something that was caught. I don't get it. Are you supposed to put that thing in a blanket and cuddle it and coddle it?
She said he disgraced the trophy.
He disgraced the whole NFL, I think.
Like
Tom Brady.
What in the? I don't. Oh gosh, that is so unbelievable. Like I felt like it was a Saturday Night Live skit. Like I thought that was like I can't believe that somebody would actually go on video as part of a news story and actually say those things.
The amount of entitlement too to say I want an apology for
what?
What?
She says I want an apology, and she says not just for me. Well, okay. Well, I'm glad you're willing to accept the apology for all of the silversmiths out there, but make sure you are included. I guess you get it first, and then we can move on to everybody else. Like she's like, okay. I mean, I'm not just looking for it for me. What in the world are you talking about?
Because he stained the great name of the Grows. And all the great Grows that have it's the dumbest. When I saw that, I couldn't believe it. But you're right. It's almost like an SNL skit. Is this woman, again, is she that sensitive, or is she trying to get her 15 minutes here? She's trying to get her 15 minutes.
She hasn't slept in 2 nights, Greg. I'd like a further update. I wonder if she's been able to sleep yet.
You think she's having nightmares?
Is
like
she
Brady?
Not going to sleep until the apology happens?
She's having nightmares that Brady throws it, and like maybe it's Gronk, and Gronk drops it, and it goes down into the river. I don't even know what to say. When I saw that thing, I go, my gosh, this is just, how sensitive can we be? I mean, there are some things that make sense, but for the most part, I would say 70% of the things that people complain about are worthless. That is worthless. She's going to sue him too?
So so Jason Light, the GM of the Buccaneers.
Oh gosh, what did he say?
He responded to the tweet of the video of this woman and just he included a little gif of lighten up, Francis.
Oh, that was him?
Yes.
I saw that response. I didn't know it was him.
Which is really the only appropriate response I think you can get. But Bet Online has set the odds of Tom Brady apologizing. And minus 400 is the heavy favorite for the yes. That he will apologize.
There is no way.
It's plus 250 on the no.
There is no way in hell Tom Brady, even in this day and age of being so sensitive, is going to apologize.
I bet he does. I bet he does.
I bet he doesn't.
That's why it's the big favorite. Well, you can bet he does it. If you want to go get it, you can get it plus 250.
Oh, there's no way he's apologizing. No way he's apologizing. Gabe, what do you think?
Absolutely not. I don't know how it's the favorite that he will. I don't get that.
Where can you bet that?
Bet online. He will tweet something saying it won't.
Okay, but it does a smart aleck apology count?
What's he going to say? No, it doesn't count. And
That's what I'm saying.
What is he going to say? I was insensitive to throw the Lombardi Trophy again. That should be coddled, and I don't get it.
He will say, "I'm sorry to all the silversmiths out there."
Oh my gosh!
That I may have offended.
And Greg, I think you're grouping everyone into this sensitive category. This is more sensitive than normally sensitive in today's.
Well, like I said,
this is ridiculous.
This is beyond ridiculous. Like, this is a woman who herself has nothing to do with making any of those trophies, who wants an apology because her dad made the first one of 55, and she thinks Tom Brady should apologize to her for throwing this one.
Well,
there's so many levels of ridiculousness to this. It's unbelievable.
Right. Make no mistake, this is at the top of the Delta Pledge class. But I still think there's a lot of other things that I have seen or read about that are just ridiculous. But this one takes the cake. This is number one. It's not even close. But if he gives into this thing, I mean, there's no way he's going to do it unless, like you said, Gabe, it's some sarcastic, snide remark in a way where, okay, you can look. You can take it both ways.
That. We can't count that.
No, you can't.
If we're betting on it, I'd be mad if I bet he would not apologize and then he gives this smart ass one.
Who was the guy we had on? I mean, who was the guy we had on from Bet Online during the week of the Super Bowl?
Mason.
Dave Mason. He's going to have controversy with this. I don't think Tom's even going to address it. Tom's got more important things to do, like live his life with Giselle. I don't think he's worried about offending the silver. And you know what? She's the one who's offended, and she is not even one. All of a sudden, we're going to have this massive amount of those people coming.
Okay, Gabe, play the video again. I got to hear her again. I just want to hear her. I just love at the end when she says, "I just want an apology, not just for me." And when she says, "I haven't slept in 2 days," that's also my.
That's my favorite.
I can't imagine.
A lot of hard work, a lot of hours go into it. It just really upset me that this trophy was disgraced and disrespected by being thrown as if it was a real football. I didn't sleep for the past 2 nights because of this. I was that upset because I know the passion that goes into this trophy and how my dad and all his fellow silversmiths are so proud to make this. I personally would like an apology. Not just to me and my family and the other silversmiths.
And her family.
But to the fans.
And her family.
Not just
her
me,
kids.
The fans.
Apologize to the kids. It's all about the kids.
If the silversmiths are so proud and so at everything that they've done, how come none of them actually came out and said they were offended?
I'm waiting.
Why is the daughter of the guy who made the first trophy so offended that she deserves an apology for it?
Yeah, I'm waiting for the silversmiths union chief to come out and also condemn what Tom Brady did. You know, it's funny. We're talking about this, and Mark Packer, who's on radio nationally, covers college football. It's almost like he was listening to the show. He has her clip. This was 1 minute ago, and he tweets out, "Welcome to the United States of the offended." That's what it is. I'm telling you, we live in a country, in a society, maybe the world that is offended by every little thing. But this is the topper.
And by the way, I don't know if she watches much football, but to say that he threw it like an actual football would be that's not how he throws the football normally.
His career would have ended probably if he threw it like a regular football. He would have broke his elbow, and that would have been it.
This might be the quote of the year, though. I'm sorry.
I personally would like an apology, not just to me and my.
Gets me every time.
Not just to me and my family.
I just love it when she says, "I would personally like an apology," and then it's almost like she thought about it for a second. She's like, "Okay, well, I guess I might have to throw in the other silversmiths." So I got the silversmith. I guess I can't just ask for it not just for me. I still want it. I want to make sure that I get my apology, even though I have literally nothing whatsoever to do with this, other than I'm related to somebody who once made one of these trophies. I want the apology. And then all these silversmiths out there, they deserve an apology as well. But make sure I'm first. I want to get mine first, then move on to the other people.
We tend to have people that speak up for other groups. I want to hear the silversmith community about what they think about this move by Tom Brady. Are they up in arms about it like this woman is?
I've got a lot of silversmiths on my phone. Let me get a hold of
67129 Silversmith community.
I
How
hear
many silversmiths are there in the world?
I hear silversmiths. All I can think of is like the 1700s or something. Is there like the candle makers on there as well? And
I don't know how many silversmiths there are. How much training goes into becoming an official silversmith?
I'm sure you got to be pretty good at what you do. And I'm not. Hey, look, nobody's saying Mr. Groves wasn't great at what he did. Come on now.
It's a very nice trophy. It's a very well. I'm all for it. I'm good on you, silversmiths.
I mean, they're taking liberties with the Stanley Cup, for goodness sakes. I mean, taking some liberties, but this is. Oh my gosh! Let me see.
That's made out of nickel, Greg. Get it right, man.
If old Greg Groves wants to come out and talk about how offended he is, I still don't like it, but at least he has something to do with for his daughter to come out and be offended for all of the silversmiths of the world. It's just
Here are the skills you need to be a silversmith. Interested in craft and design, interested in working with precious metals, good at working with your hands and take pleasure in practical work, able to solve practical problems effectively, good eye for detail, creative and artistic, the ability to draw will be advantageous. I think she just described Tom Brady, for goodness sakes. That's what you need to be a silversmith.
How many years of training? What's it take to be a silversmith? Is it to graduate into silversmithdom?
I don't see that here. It says, though, to start silversmithing costs around $100 to $250 and up for basic jewelry making tools, which can include a tool or tackle box, specialized saws and files, various vises, a soldering kit, a pinpoint torch tip, and much, much more.
I figured out why she's not angry about the Stanley Cup drinking beer poured into it and everything else. It's made out of silver nickel alloy. It's not the same thing.
Oh, yes.
Only silver.
Who makes it? Who made the original one? That's who made that original Stanley Cup? And where's their daughter?
I don't know, but I could tell you right now, I know who the GOAT of silversmiths is. I just looked this up.
It's got to be Mr. Smith. It's named after
him. No. The GOAT of silversmiths is Paul Revere. Paul Revere. Oneth by land, twoeth by sea, was a silversmith. Beautiful silver teapots he used to create. Yep, he's the GOAT.
I think my man's rolling over in his grave right now.
Do you think anybody ever threw one of those teapots?
I guarantee you did. During the Boston Tea Party, they're throwing teapots all over the place. All right, we'll take one final time now. Come back and wrap up this silly edition of Middays on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1 and 98.5.
Start your day the right way with Peter Edmiston and Anthony Sane on Sports 56 Mornings. Weekdays from 7 to 10 on Sports 56, 98.5 FM and 96.1 FM.
I'm a big fan of Town Village, and there is always something to do year-round. Nestled in the heart of East Memphis, located corner of Park and Cherry, is a beautiful residential neighborhood. Looking for a great place to retire, but you still have a very active lifestyle? Then visit Town Village. Only requirements that you're 55 plus. Prices per month starting at $24.50. The Gourmet Chef welcomes you to visit our restaurant and bistro. Package includes 3 complimentary meals per day, maid service, free local transportation, monthly coffee club, themed dinner parties, lots of fun. Visit us and call Daniel or Bo at Town Village Audubon Park at 901-374-7342. There's no place like home. Town Village Audubon Park.
If ever there was a time for comfort food, this is it. And there's no comfort food like Sunrise on Jefferson. Fresh-made breakfast featuring Sunrise's signature homemade square biscuits or the huge selection of hot, fresh, and fast lunch items are all part of what has always made Sunrise the most comforting of comfort foods in Memphis. Of course, everything that can be done to keep you and the staff safe at Sunrise is a top priority. And you can always order ahead and get delicious Sunrise to go. At a time this confusing, it's good to know there's one thing you can count on: Sunrise.
That's the sound of NyQuil Severe hard at work. NyQuil Severe is the best sleep with a cold medicine. No tossing and turning, just rest and recovery. So you're ready to take on tomorrow. For powerful relief of your worst cold and flu symptoms, try NyQuil Severe. The nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, stuffy head, best sleep with a cold medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
2021 is finally here. Might I suggest we start the wonderful new year with a makeover for your beautiful house. I'm Brian Elder. I'm a roofer. I fix roofs. Don't let them tell you that it has to be replaced when all it may need is some love. 867-0303. Let me love on your roof. I've made quite the reputation over the last decade as the guy to call after the insurance company denies the claim. Overturning a claim that has gone bad is an art form where you argue county code, manufacturer specs, and details of your policy that they have to abide by. So let me see it first. If I say it's a claim, it's a claim. 867-0303. Money is free at Brian Elder Roofing with 0% financing for half a decade. I'll measure your roof from outer space and get you a quote right over the phone. 867-0303 or BrianElderRoofing.com.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
The President's Day event is in full swing at Gossett Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Fiat on the Pike. And we're celebrating with 2020 Dodge Journey SE $19,990 or $249 a month. Or pump up your attitude with the 2021 Jeep Cherokee Latitude $21,740 or $277 a month. Or take your pick 2020 Ram 1500 Quad Cab Tradesman or 2021 Dodge Challenger XST $339 a month. It's your choice, Ram 1500 or Challenger. We Gossett at $339 a month. So drive past the rest and come to the best. Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat 1901 Covington Pike or shop online GossettMotorCars.net.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
Almost financed through Chrysler, all 3,500 cash down, 75 months at 4.19 APR. Journey LT 296,053, MSRP 26,860. Latitude MD 168,760, MSRP 27,805. 1500 LS 156,730, MSRP 35,185. Challenger MH 581,58, MSRP 31,160. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695. Excludes tax on a license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 3/1/21. Dealer stock only.
Now, back to Sports 56 Middays. This hour is brought to you by East Memphis Ace Hardware at Quincy White Station. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
He was a hard-headed man. He was brutally handsome. She was terminally pretty.
Well, it's snowing a little heavier now from what it was just doing recently, which was not much. But you said it's not as heavy as what you saw this morning?
Yeah, I mean, it was really heavy there for a little while during the start of the show, and then it kind of let up. But, yeah, it's picked up, gotten back to more of the bigger flakes and stuff. But it's amazing, though, because I looked I actually tweeted this out. I checked basically the weather in Memphis, exact same weather as Chicago. Both were 10 degrees with a wind chill of -7 degrees.
Jeez.
When I checked it, the only difference is the Memphis overnight low expected to be a lot lower than Chicago's overnight low. Chicago has an overnight low of 17 degrees. Memphis's overnight low is supposed to be 5.
Lake Michigan usually freezes, right? Parts of it or all of it during the winter?
I'm not sure if it...
parts of it.
I don't think all of it does. I don't know.
That'd be pretty tough.
Can a river, will parts of the river freeze?
Like,
there'll be a
kind
layer
of
of
it
ice.
moves through. Like,
Yeah.
It's moving, so you can't freeze it fully.
It's moving through so hard and so rapid that it's probably hard to keep that. But, yeah, it's, now I know with Chicago, they're used to it, so no problem at O'Hare or Midway most of the time. I hope we're okay with Memphis International. Again, I got to pick up my wife tonight. So that's going to be just driving over there because I'm sure this stuff's going to freeze over. And then I wonder what the flight's going to be if they're going to allow – obviously they're going to have FedEx flying in, but will they allow commercial flights or will they cancel those? So that's something I got to check out.
Well, here's a way you could make sure you're able to get there. You go over to Mid-South Ag, get you a Case IH Farmall tractor. That'll get you to the airport and back without a problem. I guarantee it. Matter of fact, I'm sure my dad back home has the snowblower on the back of his Case IH Farmall tractor, and it's probably taking care of folks. It has been for actually the last couple of weeks. They've been getting snow for a while up there, cleaning out driveways and all of that good stuff. But you can head over to Mid-South Ag Equipment. They've got the full line of Case IH Farmall Series tractors, perfect for whatever you need to get done. Loading, baling, tilling, mowing, or just getting around in the snow. They will take care. They will certainly have something that gets you through this snow. That's for sure at Mid-South Ag Equipment, located just south of Collierville on Goodman Road. They're a half mile west of the Goodman Road exit off of I-269. You can go online at midsouthag.com, see special deals they've got going on right now. Check out their entire inventory from new equipment to pre-owned equipment. They've got it for you at Mid-South Ag Equipment. So the Memphis Hustle have already played today down in the bubble. Must be nice to be down in Orlando in a bubble.
Exactly.
They picked up a 104-96 win over Salt Lake City today. David Stockton with 19 points to lead the way for the Hustle. Sam Merrill and Tyrell Terry each had 17, and Freddie Gillespie had 14 points and 15 rebounds in the game for the Hustle. But they were victorious down in the bubble today, their second win of the season.
Is Jonte Porter playing? I know he played the one game.
I'm not sure if he played today or not. I've not seen the full box score. So I don't know for sure if he played today or not. But that I have not seen as far as that is concerned. We had a text earlier from somebody that said JV, talking about Jonas, is the most consistent player when he gets the ball. I guess talking about on the Grizzlies. Jonas is, I mean, it's amazing. He is a double-double machine. He just goes out every night, even though he is a part of a kind of a dying breed. And there are the reports today from many that the Cavaliers are basically going to shut down Andre Drummond and try and trade him, although they won't get much for him, even though Andre Drummond averages 17 points and 13 rebounds a game. People don't want that guy anymore. It's like the big center. Now, Jonas actually has shown the ability. He could step out and make a three occasionally. Andre Drummond does not have that ability at all. But yeah, I mean, it's Jonas every night. You pretty much can almost pencil in like 15 and 12 automatically.
I love Jonas. I really do. I thought it was, you hated to see Mark go, but to be able to get him in return, I loved it. There are matchups in games where it doesn't make sense with Jonas. There are a few of those, and maybe more down the line the way the NBA is going. But Valanciunas is a dominating player. He is the second best player on the team. I don't care what people say about Jaren Jackson Jr. Jaren Jackson Jr. is not in there half the time. He's hurt. When he plays, he's really, really good. He's a terrific athlete and a big part of their future. But I'm sorry, Jonas Valanciunas is the second best player on the team. He's consistent as hell, and only Ja Morant is better than him, and Ja's maybe not as consistent as Jonas. So, yes, there are matchups that don't work with him in there, but for the most part, he's a dominating player, and the Grizzlies are lucky to have the guy. That's my opinion about him.
Well, I would say Jaren is a better player when Jaren is healthy.
When Jaren is healthy, but he's missed so many games that right now, if you say who's the second best player, I'm sorry, JV is the second best player in my opinion.
Time now for one final thing.
Before Greg and Eli get out of here for the day, they each have one final thing they think you should know to make it through the rest of your day. So here are Greg and Eli with one final thing.
It wasn't the best start to the race or finish to the race for Bubba Wallace during yesterday's Daytona 500, but there's still some history made as Bubba did lead a lap in the Great American Race, and he becomes the first black driver to lead a lap at the Daytona 500, and he does so in his first race driving for Michael Jordan. The team owned by Michael Jordan and by Denny Hamlin is the 23XI Racing Team. Obviously, the 23 in honor of Michael Jordan. Wallace got caught up in a fiery, chaotic last lap. He finished 17th in the race. He said, bum end, I bailed out down the back, saw the wreck happening, and got run over from behind. Should have bailed sooner. Fast car, can't have loose wheels, onto the right turns. And what he means is the road course at Daytona, which will be the second race of the NASCAR season coming up this weekend. But again, history made by Bubba Wallace driving for Michael Jordan, leading a lap at the Daytona 500.
Well, Pac-Man Jones is back at it. The old former NFL player, former Titan, among many others, arrested again early this morning in Hamilton County, Ohio. booked at 1:54 a.m. for a misdemeanor assault charge. Apparently, he's accused of punching and kicking someone until they were unconscious. So,
yikes.
Pac-Man is still Pac-Man. Winter storm, COVID, no issues for Pac-Man. Pac-Man is still Pac-Man, and he will continue to be Pac-Man probably for the rest of his life.
Pac-Man is still Pac-Man, and Johnny Manziel is still Johnny Manziel. Did you watch him play a little bit over the weekend? Gabe, did you see that?
I missed that.
I saw. I should honestly go in there and start calling plays for him. Because that's what it is, right?
It's a control.
Isn't that the whole thing?
It's a control league that you control the plays. And so the first play from scrimmage, I don't know if it was a designed run or he just took off with it and almost scored a touchdown on the first run. Good to see Johnny Football playing a little football, albeit a different form of football. We want to thank.
If only the fans could have controlled the AAF, maybe he would have started for Memphis instead of sitting on the bench for the Express.
You know it's bad when Benno Udrih is tweeting out about Memphis's weather. Hey, Memphis, what's this all about? With a visual of Memphis getting snowed upon, and it's 7 degrees out there as well. Thank you, Benno. We appreciate that. I want to thank Craig Unger for joining us on the program today. We're back here tomorrow, God willing, starting at 10 o'clock. CJ O'Gara will join us. We'll get his thoughts on the Gus Malzahn news as he will become the new head coach at UCF. Jeff Crane from the University of Memphis, the latest on the Tigers basketball situation, plus 2.5 questions. Humdinger's Trivia. We'll also give you our topic for our 5 favorite things, which we will do on Wednesday. Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio is coming up next, so stay tuned for that. Be careful driving around. Stay in if you can, and we will talk to you again tomorrow. For Eli and Gabe, I'm Greg. Have a great day, everybody.
Got